kids, we're back with joke time. Why did the teacher jump into the pool? She wanted to test the water. Get it? Test the water. Let's go back to 757 Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and the testy Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you to 757 Sports Talk, powered by Kova Sports TV, with the Coach Ed Young. Testy sometimes, more times than not. I am Matthew Hatfield. We've got a jam-packed program for all of you today on the show. Glad you're with us. And nobody cares about that pinstripe. Nobody cares. We're gonna spend half the show today talking about pinochle and the latest with soccer. You good with that? You good with that, Coach?
And the Yankees 1-0 win over
Nobody
the Phillies.
cares. Diamondbacks won 2 last night.
Diamondbacks.
A boring game. Paul Goldschmidt, the ex-D-back,
did I get the D-backs out of last place? Are they out of last place yet?
No, they're actually, I believe, 10-2 the last 12, which is a better record than the Bronx Bombers had the last 12. So.
That should get them probably the 4th pick in the draft next year. That means they'll move up from last to, but 4th place. Okay. I'm rooting for them.
You know, you live in a
you don't
world
root
where
for the Yankees. I do root for the D-backs to do well.
Well, that's just great. 2001, ring a bell. I mean, I think the D-backs have as many world championships since 2001 as the Yankees do.
Yankees 28 world titles.
Yeah, but the franchise existed well before the D-backs did. So how about this news? LeBron James.
What?
The Philadelphia 76ers landed the big fish. I guess you could say the big fish. They got Jaylen Brown. Then they get LeBron James. That's the big fish. They were, fishing for him, and they got him. And his final decision, well, he was going to retire if you believe his tweets. And I do believe him. I think he was conflicted on all this. I do think, Pat Riley was trying to get his ear. I think some current players trying to get his ear. Bottom line is he's taken a major pay cut for him to go to the city of brotherly love. All love is in the air in Philadelphia. They'll boo you. They'll cheer you. They'll jeer you. We'll see how he's welcomed and embraced. And by the way, the schedule can now be set for TV, Adam Silver. You might as well put it on Prime Video or ESPN or ABC. Sixers Knicks to open up the season. Get everybody geeked up for that. The King is going to the Philadelphia to join the likes of Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe. Don't forget about the young rook LeBaron Filan, who I think is going to be a great six-man for them as they pursue a championship. First one since the early 80s, back in the days of the Dr. Julius Erving, Dr. J, Virginia Squires great, and Moses Malone, another Virginia. We bring it back to the Commonwealth, folks. Petersburg legend, living legend. Rest in peace, Moses. What do you think about this? I know you've been vocal on Facebook and social media, so tell our audience that haven't been reading your posts what you think about this, because it sounds like, if I'm reading your post correctly, you're in the anti-LeBron field yet again.
Now I've been taking a few hits. Let me specify. I am a LeBron enjoyment watcher. He is going to go down as the second greatest player of all time.
Of all time.
When it's all said and done. He's got titles, but I'm going to say this, and a lot of people will smack me for it. I don't think he'll win an NBA title in Philly.
Well, listen, you're really going on a limb because, 30 teams in the league, and you're taking 29 over the one, so you're really going on a limb there.
That's pretty good odds.
Yeah, pretty good odds for you.
Which reminds me, I got to get my pretty good orange juice. It's the only way I can call it. I forgot to get it here this morning. I thought he would go to Cleveland. I thought, and this is my opinion, like everybody else has one, best fit. Why Philly? Well, why not Philly? LeBron has been number one option everywhere, number two option almost everywhere he's been. It's his nature, his personality, his character, his abilities. I don't think he's number one or two option in Philly. I think Jaylen Brown, Maxey, those guys will be number one options. Joel Embiid has to have the ball. The one thing about a lot of those Philly guys, maybe except for Maxey, Brown is one of them. They have to have the ball in their hands to do what they do. They don't really create or do much else without the ball. And you're going to have a lot of those type of guys with Philly. I think it hurts a little bit the youngster Edgecombe's progression, who I think is a great talent.
How does it hurt his progression? How does it hurt his progression?
I just, like I said, I thought Cleveland, I mean, he does what he wants. He's a grown man. The free agency thing took too doggone long for him. He didn't need all that. And then the last thing I would say about it is, if Jaylen Brown didn't go get traded to Philly, would LeBron be in Philly? My answer,
probably not.
No.
But does that matter? It happened. I mean,
he said, I mean, he made a comment somewhere, and I'm not sure this is true. He wasn't worried about chasing rings or whatever. He did want to play for a team that has a chance to win. I don't fault him on that. He definitely should go for that. But he wouldn't go to no doggone New Orleans. No. So, but by signing with Philly, he forget that. I'm not chasing rings. He's chasing a ring there. And it'd be great to bring Philly a ring. Yes, absolutely. But and the money, forget the money. $4 million a year is nothing for him. He could play free and still make more than anybody else in the league. But again, I'm not hating on LeBron. I thought Cleveland was a better fit. But he's in Philly. They're going to be a great team to watch. I've been a Philly fan in the past. I could move him up to number 2 on the list. But let's see what happens.
He's 41 years of age. I think he's earned the right to do what he wants at this point. I'm not the biggest of LeBron fans, but I'm not a hater either. And you say the fourth option thing. I don't think that matters to him. Listen, he's 41. Like I said, he shouldn't be the first or second option on this team. Edgecombe will get the shots. If you watch the NBA game now, they got 4 guys averaging, over 20 a game. He'll get plenty of shots. He's only going to be in, his second, third year in the league. Philon's a young kid. He's the guy that's going to probably get less shots. And Embiid,
do you think Edgecombe will average more points per game next year than he did this past year?
I don't think that. I think you're paying attention to the score. I think LeBron will average less, but I think he'll be the primary facilitator late in games so that Maxey can play off the ball. He'll play the 4 mostly, and I think they'll win more games assuming they're healthy, which is a big if. Nobody can predict health and injuries. Joel Embiid's only played 57 games, I think his last 2 years combined. He could break down, and I actually think people. And by the way, some of those clowns on ESPN, I'll just say it. To say he has the most pressure, the guy's won 4 championships with 3 different teams. He's one of only 4 guys to do that. Ed, that list consisting of Robert Horry and Danny Green and LeBron and John Sally. It's a pretty exclusive list. He'd be the first guy to win 5 with 4 teams if he pulls this off. Pressure's on Joel Embiid, number 1, with a bullet. And then the pressure's on Nick Nurse, number 2, to coach to make this mix. I think he's a very good coach, by the way. I'm the coach critiquer. You're the guy that defends every coach, good, bad, or indifferent. But I think that's the deal there. So, I don't think he has to be the number 1 option at this point. I think he's fine with that. I think he's there to make them better. I think he could have gone to the Cavs and you understood it. But you got James Harden. You're going to really win there. His best chance to win a championship would be San Antonio. And you say chasing a title in their careers. Isn't that what all these older guys did? My guy, Karl Malone, did it with Gary Payton with the Lakers. They had every right to, took a pay cut. I think you have that right. You've earned that right. And by the way, there it is on the ticker. Who wins this series? Better starting 5, Knicks or Sixers? I'll be honest with you, man for man, Philly's starting 5 is more talented. Now, can the chemistry and cohesiveness be there to beat them? And they just got swept without LeBron. So you don't imagine a guy at 41 is going to make that difference to change the outcome of the series. However, I will say I do wonder if the Knicks' hunger will still be there for guys like Karl Anthony Towns and even the role guys at the bench like the Jordan Clarksons and the Alvarados of the world. So that's a big deal. Jalen Brunson's a big-time performer, but it will make things more compelling. This, if nothing else, makes the Eastern Conference all the more interesting because I'll be honest with you. No disrespect to the Nuggets and the Wolves in the West. The West feels like a 2-team race. It's OKC and the Spurs in the finals. I don't see anybody keeping those from getting there. The East, I can make a case for 7 or 8 teams, including the Detroits, the Orlandos, the Torontos of the world. They get Kawhi Leonard, among others, depending on how injuries go and how things shake out. I think the East has now become the more interesting conference of the 2 in the National Basketball Association. You concur?
Yes, that definitely shifted when LeBron goes to Philly, that the East will generate a lot more excitement. It's a little bit more wide open. It puts Philadelphia in the conversation for title. I agree with you with Spurs and Thunder in the West pretty much. Maybe Denver will rattle some feathers. Golden State possibly. But the East will be, it's a great matchups right off the bat with the Knicks. How about when they will play the Celtics with Jaylen Brown? It's definitely opened that up for them. And again, I want people to understand I'm not a LeBron hater either at all. I enjoy watching him play. Like I said, Michael Jordan's my guy, but I would say LeBron is right there. But I just don't feel they'll win a championship his first year, and he signed a 2-year deal. Interesting to know if they can win it in that second year. They easily could. We've had 9 different champions in the last 9 years. Mm-hmm. So see what happens.
We shall see what happens indeed. We say good morning to all the folks up there. You're welcome to interact with us. Chime in on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. We're on IG, Facebook, the X, the Twitter, the YouTube page. We're asking, will LeBron and the Sixers win the NBA title in 2027? Let us know on Cova Sports TV. We got a lot of high school football, a little bit of college hoops sprinkled in today, all kinds of things for all of you out there. And by the way, if you're wondering, Edward, as his phone's going off, I don't know what that is in the background. He's got all kinds of things in the background. And where is LeBron's son playing? That's what Woody wants to know. I don't know that he's going to Philly. I do see, and it'll be one of our ticker items in a second, that they're trying to get KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But Philly now has been installed as the 4th biggest favorite on the odds board. It's Oklahoma City and the Spurs leading it at plus 260, the Knicks at plus 900, the Sixers at plus 1,000, the Celtics at plus 1,400, and the Raptors at plus 2,000. That's got to be with the assumption that Kawhi does indeed.
Bronny's still on the Laker roster, so.
Well, yes, but you've seen some of the videos? They've got people changing the locks and the doors, and who knows what's going to happen there. Who knows what's going to happen?
He's not going to Philly. I can almost. No. I got to believe 100% he's not going to be traded.
I have a feeling he might not be playing for any NBA team. He could be in the G League, which is, it's quite all right. It's quite all right. I mean, nowadays, we talked about this before, when you do a list, any type of list or anything, you're discrediting or hating on somebody. If you don't say that LeBron's the greatest of all time, how dare you? It's like nothing wrong if he's, in your eyes, the second best, the third best, the 8th best, whatever best. It's not it's not a downing of his career. So what do we think about the decision during WNBA All-Star Weekend? Well, you know what? That's a question we can throw in there if you want, Derek, to one of our guests this morning. We got coming up, not our first guest, but our second guest is Women's Basketball Hall of Famer and the head coach at Old Dominion University on the women's basketball side, getting her LA Sparks jersey retired next week, DeLisha Milton-Jones. And I know she's got an affinity, obviously, for Kobe playing out there in LA. So the Black Mamba, one of her favorites, I'm quite positive of. I know she's got a Kobe jacket and shirt I've seen a number of times. So we'll get her thoughts on it during the WNBA All-Star Weekend. I don't know that he planned it out. People are trying to do this. Did you see this, Ed? They're making the math thing that it was on the 24th day of July. It was 81. I don't think any of that really went into the thought process. I think we're getting too deep when we start trying to come to these conspiracy theories or this was planned out. People have said he wanted to make a decision last week and he got mad at Adam Silver, so he delayed it just to annoy Adam Silver, which, some people, I think you've even referred to him as the pencil, what did you call him? The pencil neck
geek.
Yeah, you call him the pencil neck geek. So I don't really too bothered by that, but I don't make a big deal about what. Listen, whenever he made his decision, there was going to be people, Derek, that said he made it because of this or why did he do it because of that. He's constantly poked and prodded. I'm glad the whole thing's over with now, so we can get on with the lives. And that is one thing Ed and me agree on for sure.
I don't think, of course, you're trying to get in LeBron's head.
Too hard to do.
I saw that where some people said he did it on purpose to take some flavor away from the WNBA All-Star. I don't think he thought in that manner.
I don't think so.
It just came up and here it is and boom. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. Yes, I thought the whole process took too long to announce it. That's what irritated me. And I thought Cleveland would be his best position. But again, happy he's in Philly, happy he's happy. Philly people are going crazy. Love it. It brings more excitement to the East. I remember back in the days when the Knicks were good, Philadelphia, Boston, especially those three when they all met. It was great NBA watch. So we're back to that again. Even though I think the Celtics giving Jaylen Brown to the Sixers is one of the dumbest things in NBA history. But I still think the Celtics are good enough to be up there. But they definitely have dropped to third behind the Knicks and Philly.
Well, I don't think they're that high. I think they're probably 6th, 7th, or 8th, to be honest with you. And quite honestly, I've told you before, it's all about money. They didn't want to spend the money. The ownership didn't want to spend the money. That's why they didn't make the deal for Giannis to keep Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shireman, who you'd need name tags to find them at your local 7-Eleven. And they didn't make the deal for Jamal Murray. For some reason, they think Peyton Pritchard's better than Jamal Murray. They don't want to spend the money. That's what it is. Getting in a second apron, you got to pay two guys $300 million like Brown and Tatum. Doesn't work for them. So they've moved on. I just hope, Ed, do you like me? Do you like me?
Most of the time, I would say no.
No? Well, guess what? This is how I feel.
I only like people that like me.
Oh, I don't know that I like you that much either. But we'll carry on with the show. We've got some special guests. Yeah, which include, we mentioned DeLisha, Milton-Jones, 1040 Eastern. We're going to be joined in the 11 o'clock hour by Paul Stone. He of Paul Stone Sports Talk and College Football with us this morning. And Danny Dodson, the new head football coach of the York Falcons. I think you told him a few years back when he retired from Woodside, you're not done coaching, Danny. The wife's going to have you do all the chores, mowing the grass. You're going to get tired of it. You'll be back on the sidelines. Well, he was as an assistant at Lafayette, but now he's the new head coach at York after 20-plus years with the Wolverines of Woodside. So we'll chat about that when we come back here on 757 Sports Talk. Oh, Marty! Oh, no. I like you, Marty. Oh, come on.
Marty.
Come on, Marty.
That's some hard. Now, Marty, wow, that surprised me too because Marty loves everybody.
He said I'm
tolerable. Okay. But when Marty says you don't like somebody,
maybe he was talking about the video, the guy in the video. I hope he was talking about me. I hope he was talking about the guy in the video.
See, Marty told me during the week too. He said, "Hey, what the hell's up with Hatfield and these pool stuff?" I said, "Marty, if you're just finding out, it's a battle I've been fighting for a couple of years. We're trying to get rid of this stuff, but he knows people in low places. He's able to stay on the air with it because Marty didn't like it either. He didn't understand. He said, I don't mind jokes and I like listening to jokes if I get Marty's correct wording. He said, but his stuff isn't jokes. I said, preaching to the choir.
Oh, wow. If he was wearing a Yankee shirt. Oh, not you too, Marty. Oh, my gosh. Between you and our guy at Great Bridge and Phil Forbes and all you guys. Oh, Lord of mercy. I can't get away from all you guys. Let me bring Dave Johnson on the show, a real good Red Sox fan, your former colleague at the Daily Press there, Marty. Coming up next, we'll talk to a guy we all like. He's the new head football coach. You're going to like him, trust us. Derek Boone, Surry High School, the Cougars. Talk about their outlook for this year right here on 757 Sports Talk. And they're watching where, Edward?
Right here on Cova Sports TV. We hope you like us, at least me. Share, and please subscribe.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Cova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit covapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever! The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Bacon cheeseburger for a limited time, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. Yeah, this is not the time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. And there's bacon on that burger. The $7 Bacon Cheeseburger Meal Deal. Now, for a limited time on the $7 Meal Deal lineup. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk.
Usually it's Hatfield. That's why I try to tell everybody, get on Hatfield. He is the legal scribe, the talking head that knows all this, puts the whammies on up We do things different on this podcast. That's why we're rated number 3 in the state.
You got Play-Doh? Get out of here! We got people all over the globe watching with us. Sitting in a phone booth with you would be very.
Well, no, we got to have your own phone booth. I'm not sitting in no phone booth with you.
It is 757 Saturday Sports Talk here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, nothing like some burgers and dogs on the grill and having them with some French fries. Did you know that the first French fries were not cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece.
757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Welcome back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. We have a special guest with us. Eddie is the new head football coach, year number 1 of the Surry Cougars. Class 1 program out there in the Tri-Rivers District. We say hello and congratulations on his first year at the helm to Derek Boone. Coach, it's almost that time of year for the football season. How's life treating you?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man. Everything's great. Before we get started, I'd like to say, if Coach Ed, if I could have got to talk to you this way, man, I'd have been hit Matt Hatfield up to have this conversation. I've been waiting to talk to Coach Ed for a minute about some other things, but man, it's good to finally have some form of opportunity to talk, man, Coach.
You know, Derek. First of all, welcome on and congrats too. Matt don't know you and I have been playing phone tag, any kind of tag for about 5 months.
Yes, sir.
And what's the crazy thing is it's about basketball,
right?
Derek is football, so. And I kind of backed off as we got closer to what's going on now because I know you are coaching, you're very busy with Surry, but we still got to get a conversation about some basketball stuff going on in Alawite County.
Yes,
that's where all that's coming from. So we would be able to do that, but obviously right now we got to get you straight, Get you ready, get you moving with the Surry Cougars, and then we'll take care of the hoop stuff soon enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just want to throw that in there. Again, thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Well, Derek, don't feel bad. I tried calling his phone, and the last time I called, it said, "We're sorry, this number's been changed, disconnected, or no longer in service." So I think he's blocked me. I don't know. I'm not sure what the deal is. So, but let's introduce you to the audience out there and provide the background, how you ended up at Surry. Take us through your high school days, how you got into coaching, and leading us up to this 2026 edition, which we'll get into with you.
Absolutely. I played at Smithfield High School, graduated in 2004. I've been the president of Smithfield Practice Youth Sports out there for a while. Coach Newhall, while I was out there doing that, the youth football pulled me in on the staff probably about 2019 before he left. And Devondre Bazemore came on, and I was JV head coach under him until he left. And then now, of course, Coach Parker, who's there now, who has taught me a lot within the last 4 years, going through his tutelage, as well having the opportunity to coach with Kermit Buggs. So I've been coaching Smithfield High School varsity football for a good amount of 7 years now for that. And then now the Surry job come up. My son just graduated from Smithfield High School. So I love the community of Smithfield, but it was an opportunity that I thought I deserved to have as a head coach position for the Surry Cougars, which is a rival to us. And but I was excited to apply, and I'm excited to have gotten that job early part of this year, and to work under Coach Johns, whom I know as a close friend of mine, also an alumni for Surry High School, state championship team, being on that team. So it just started from getting my opportunity under Coach Newhall and continuing to learn from Coach Bazemore to Coach Parker, and now having my own opportunity here at Surry High School.
You mentioned the state championship team there, Coach, and you've seen other sports here at Surry flourish recently. Boys basketball made a run, girls basketball make a run. How much was that part of the lure to Surry, knowing that it's capable there and you want to be one of the guys that helps put this football program back on the map because it's been there before?
Yes, sir. That's the major key there. I've had the opportunity as a kid, as a teenager, to go to Surry High School when cars were parked around the curve. And we're walking out there just to watch them play, and also to play against that teams that were actually in contention back then. And that was a major part to come back. Some of these kids I've had the privilege to coach and see in our youth program in Smithfield, Some of these kids I just seen from social media, following and discussing a few things. So I've seen some talent there. I see an opportunity there. I see rich culture there. You got 2 back-to-back state championship teams, 98, 99. I mean, the rich history and the culture in that county was too hard to try to pass up. And the ability to fall in line with a great community like Surry County was something special. And I'm truly looking forward to bringing that culture back and filling those stands up and having those cars fill those roads around and shutting that neighborhood down on Friday nights so we can come out there and show them what it's like to be Surry Cougar and have that Cougar Pride show.
There you go. 10-2 in 2014 was the last winning season for the Surry Cougars, trying to get them back to their winning ways. Derek Boone, the first-year head coach, our guest on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Looks like the opener is August 28th, Coach, at Middlesex. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
There you go, Ed, out there August 28th. Go check out the Cougars and the Chargers on Cova Sports TV, Ed.
Well, Derek, when I think of Surry Cougars, when I first came to Virginia years ago as the head basketball coach at old Suffolk High School, no longer in existence, Surry County had some of the greatest athletes you could see, especially for a small school. And not only just on the basketball court, but also on the football field, well known for that. And I think as the years have progressed, what has happened, which is normal with high school sports, kids go all over the place now. They just leave. Oh, yeah. And a lot of times this small single-A school, which Surry is, gets beat down by people saying, oh, you can't go get a college scholarship by going there. You need to go to the big school. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I think that's hit Surry a little bit over the years because they do have a tight-knit community, very, very traditional community where, you know, dads and uncles and grandfathers have played and committed for that. And I think you alluded to it. It's something that you want to bring back to that. But have you noticed that in your trend being at Smithfield, that maybe that is what has happened at Surry over the last few years?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of that's happened. A lot of people that used to play there moved away. The prestigious part of it is a lot of those individuals back in the day went to college and played. I mean, like Shania Newby at UVA, Mel Gibbs, Elizabeth City, Breon Pierce went. So there's several athletes that just accomplished what they did. They moved away. So some of those athletes moved away. And as stated, a lot of times you see as a coach that great talent out there and you want to pull them into your team. So some people look at the trajectory of maybe this school can get me there or put me there, but we got to get back to the realization of it's a lot of athletes that have made it out of Surry to college and to the pros. So the rhetoric of saying that's not true. We can do what we need to do as athletes and dominate single A, and we can get back to the Cougar pride and showing, hey, these guys can make it to school. I got 2 athletes right now, I believe, right now are able to go to that next level, and I think that's going to prepare us to get back to that. But absolutely agree, over the years, that has been a big issue for us.
Who are those couple of guys you mentioned? You got those 2 athletes you mentioned. Give us some names of note. You don't have to go through the whole entire roster, but some highlight names, be it offensively or defensively, that people should watch out for that might have a chance to play college ball.
Absolutely. Hermione Slade is a tremendous athlete on the football field and the basketball court. He's about 6'2". He's got about 180, 190, lift pretty well in the weight room, can lift 225 pounds, will come down and hit you at safety, plays coverage really well. I've had the privilege of having him on 7-7 this year, do amazing. Everybody's raving about him. I mean, his vertical is crazy. He has a 3.5 GPA. The kid's ready to go play ball, and he's ready for college bound right now. And then the other one is Braden Hinch. I mean, this kid is 6'2", 280. Might be 290 by now. He's increased. He's right there at the 1,000-pound club in the weight room. And both of those kids come hungry. They haven't missed a day in the weight room. They are leaders and captains for our football team. I mean, they have the measurables. They have the it factor and the mentality to carry us a long way this season.
Chatting with Derek Boone, head football coach, and year number 1 at the helm of the Surry Cougars. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. It's Cova Sports TV, Ed.
Now, Derek, you get position, always interested in finding out what coaches' mindsets are. When you were named, okay, we're giving you the job at Surry County, what were maybe a couple of things right off the bat in your mindset that you said, okay, I got to do this now as the head coach at Surry, whether, I don't know, staff or philosophy or I got to go cut the grass. I mean, sometimes in a smaller school, high school period, as head coaches, we got to do a million things that you would never think about at the college level. But maybe in your mindset, what were a couple, two, three things in your mind that, okay, this is what I need either right now, real soon, or definitely before the season starts?
First thing was I need to establish myself in the community and with the student athletes. I needed to build relationship. I needed some in that community know me from the youth days of recreation basketball, coaching through a lot of things. But I needed to establish Derek Boone, head coach of Surry County, and establish Derek Boone, the community activist within that community, to bring them in. The next part was, all right, so how do I establish what I want to do going forward as a coach with the kids, to build that chemistry and let them know, hey, this culture that we're going to go back to and what we're trying to build, what direction do I need to go in? And find something that the kids could relate to, that we can build to, and that we can understand moving forward, giving these kids opportunities they hadn't had in a few years. And the third thing was that I thought would be able to continue help me and build this program where it needed to be. So it was establishing myself in the community for what I was, establishing a culture that the kids can follow, and building the coaching staff that could take us to the next level.
Awesome. And as you look at, Coach, the vision of what you want to build there, sorry, Coach sort of touched on with you those challenges at Class 1, the school, the numbers aren't what they are for the Class 6s, the Class 5s, the Class 4s of the world. And there are some in neighboring areas when you look at schools that are the Smithfields, the Lakelands, the Kings Forks, the Nance Rivers, that aren't too far off from where you guys are located. But what are some of the things identity-wise and not so much even the personnel, but formation-wise that you kind of want to implement offensively, defensively, be it similar or different? Do you look at some things that have been done recently, good or bad, and you want to take some of that, or do you want to go with something brand new to give them that fresh taste and feel?
Yeah, we're coming in with a new system. Last year, they probably got under center a little more, ran a little more tight end, double tight. We're going to be a little more spread. We're going to be in the gun. We will go under center some, but we're going to come with a new formation, new scheme. We run a basic wing T principle, shotgun spread style offense, and we're going to implement misdirection, using our speed. First, offense and defensively, we want to strike first, strike fast, and strike often. We are a small unit, of course. We got a few guys with a little bit of height, but we're small in number. So we got to be able to, just like this little man syndrome for myself, we've just got to be ready to fight. And we got to be ready to fight for 4 quarters. And there may only be 20, 25 of us fighting. So it's just a new scheme. We're going to spread defenses out. Those teams that want to blitz us, we're going to try to hit them off the blitz. We're going to have our RPOs built in, misdirections, our sweeps. We're going to try to give teams everything, different looks, and we're just expounding on the modernization of the wing T, which I grew up in coming through school. But I love the fact of being able to spread teams out and use those principles against them. And we don't need a big offensive line to do that.
Coach, you didn't say the little man syndrome, did you? You didn't say that, did you? I say Ed's got the old man, grumpy old man syndrome is what I call it. And he has that, especially when his dog starts barking in the middle of the show. He has to go chase the dog. I mean, this is what I deal with every Saturday.
Derek, I apologize. My killer dog, somebody knocked at the door, and as I trained him, he's ready to go out and tear a leg off of somebody. He protects me.
Sir.
Okay. And when Hatfield comes here, he tries to tear his leg off. Now I usually let him try to do it.
I gotta swoop him in the back door. I'll get killed. Yeah.
Yeah, Hatfield runs down the street, so the dog hasn't been able to get him yet. But I do apologize for that disruption, but we're good. Derek, what I wanted to get to you to next was staff. I know this is another big thing for head coaches to put staff together. Are you at liberty to mention like who you've already hired, who they are and coming in, and are you still looking to complete your staff?
Absolutely. Staff right now, we're still open to maybe one more coach coming and volunteering and helping us, but I feel pretty solid about our staff. We have on our staff a gentleman that has graduated in 81 from Surry alumni, and we have a gentleman on our staff that graduated in 2017 from Surry High School. So we have a broad range of individuals on our staff. The young guys bringing energy. He's getting the kids riled up. He's used to the community. I had the liberty of coaching his younger brothers, Amon and Alex Rollins. That's AJ, Tonio Rollins. Glad to have him on the staff. And our guy that graduated in 81, we always joke he's the youngest guy on the staff. But Ronnie Jones, who played at Surry High School as quarterback and did very well there, and also coached there and almost got a state championship himself. But he's been coaching there for a while. But yeah, so we got Ronnie Jones, Roy Gilbert from Nazareth River High School, Jaquan Spratley, who coached at Smithfield and Nazareth River High School. Great offensive line guy. I love everything he brings to the table. As a dear friend of mine, I would put him up against any offensive line coach out there in our surrounding cities. And he's already implemented great things. We have a great mindset. We did coach together in Smithfield before he went to Nazareth River, and again when he come back. O'Brien Buford, who is was there in Surry with Zach Orlando and coach from last year. So we got him back on the staff, rolling with us. And Coach AK, who's coaching Smithfield with me as well. And those guys are going to bring a lot to the table. I got Coach Jenkins, who did a lot on the youth circuit, so he's getting the first opportunity here for varsity football, who's hungry, putting together a lot of things for us. So I feel pretty good, pretty solid about where we're going with our staff.
Awesome. Well, we thank you for coming on the program before we let you run here. I'm sure we'll be chatting down the road as the season progresses. The schedule's scrolling across the ticker for fans that want to check out the Cougars this year. Tell us about your couple of preseason scrimmages before game number 1 against Middlesex and what you want to see get accomplished. Because we hear a lot of times first-year coaches come in with they want to win this amount of games or make this with the playoffs. So what are you wanting to accomplish in the scrimmages? And in year 1, what are kind of the things in terms of the goals and checklists that you have on your sheet?
Yeah, we got Nottoway August 14th, and then we're going right August 20th against Cumberland. And what we're looking for is how our guys are going to respond to new scheme, new defense, and new coaches. Right? We just want to see them understand where we're trying to go with it, make sure we got. Of course, our first scrimmage, we're not throwing the playbook out. We're going to run a few plays, see how it works, see what our guys are learning. It's development right there. It's learning a new scheme. And then we get to Cumberland, we'll add a little more. We get to the second week, and we're looking for execution again. No excuses. We're looking for effort. We're looking for guys willing to play. And look, guys are learning and playing fast. And once we get them learning and understanding, there's no question about we feel our system would be great for us. So we'll just keep plugging along within that. So we're just looking to execute our first 2 scrimmages, see how things go. Of course, we're going to have mistakes, so that's what we want. We want to see those mistakes and adjustments that we'll have to make. We got a few kids in new positions, so we want to see how they play. I got a guy that's been playing defensive tackle, offensive line, playing linebacker this year. So we're going to see what he looks like. And as the season goes, 1-0 every week. Okay? That's all we're looking for. I'm not going to tell you we're going to go 10-0, 9-0. Expectation is, though, to win each and every week, and that's going to be the goal.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the program. We wish you all the best, and we'll make sure that we don't have Ed's dog come near. Well, actually, we'll have Ed's dog come near you. It'll scare the opposition. We'll see if Ed's dog will help you, see if that'll strike some fear into the hearts of those opponents that you play on Friday nights.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thank you, Coach. Have a great one.
Yes, sir. You too.
Hey, Derek, appreciate it. Derek, we still got to talk. I know you're busy with football, but I got to pick your brain real quick about some basketball stuff, and then I'm going to let you go and take care of your football. And let me give these new young coaches some football advice.
Oh, no, don't do this.
Write this down, put it in your head because it has worked.
Yes, sir. 4th in inches or 3rd in inches. Do not be afraid to run the flea flicker and around. Put the big 290-pound lineman in the backfield. Give him the ball. Okay. Shift the quarterback out wide, height to the one of the running backs for a little toss over the middle. I'm just put it in there, and trust me, everybody that has done it has said to me down the road, man, I don't know if you can coach basketball, but you got some football skills I got to use. So I'm just telling you young guys this because you always see football coaches that watch so much stuff. Do not be afraid to put the trick plays in. They do work. Yes, sir, Coach. They're in there. When we pop it, I'm gonna send you the highlight.
Oh boy,
that's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear.
Highlights, not lowlights. And if it is, blame it on Ed. But thank you, DB. We'll be talking soon. Have a great one and enjoy the season.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Derek. Good luck to you.
Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. When we come back, it'll be a quick timeout. We got a special guest with us. A Hall of Famer, DeLisha Milton-Jones, getting her jersey number 8 retired. It's her first time on this show. It's 757 Sports Talk. Oh, I'm sure Ed's got a ton of questions to ask her, and they're watching where, Edward?
Cova Sports TV. Like us, share, and subscribe.
Now this from Il Giardino.
Authentic Italian cuisine can be found in just one place in Hampton Roads, Il Giardino Ristorante in Virginia Beach. Il Giardino offers veal, seafood, chicken, pasta, vegetarian, and pizza creations. Add the sounds of the piano bar and lounge, and it's no wonder Il Giardino is such a popular local spot. Open daily at 5 p.m.
What's a pepper that won't leave you alone? Jalapeno business.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe with us now. Ed is a special guest, a Hall of Famer who is getting her jersey retired with the Los Angeles Sparks, coming up next week on Tuesday night as they take on the New York Liberty. She's the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, 3-time All-Star, 2-time WNBA champion. The accolades, there's so many of them. We say hello and congratulations to DeLisha Milton-Jones. Coach, thanks for coming on the program. How's life treating you this summer? Coach, can you hear us? Oh.
Are you guys talking to me? I can't hear y'all.
Can you hear us? You can't hear us right now? Uh-oh, she's having some audio difficulties. Let's see if she can. Can you hear us at all? All right, she's having some difficulties with the audio for some reason.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear us. Uh-oh. That's not good. We'll see if we can get that troubleshoot. See if she can. She's working on that with the test. We'll see if we can put her off the screen and then get back on the screen. She's having some difficulties hearing us at the moment, so we'll see if we can get that ironed out here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Of course, she is getting her jersey number 8 retired with the LA Sparks coming up on Tuesday. As I mentioned, Ed, July the 28th, they take on the New York Liberty out there in California. We'll see if she now has us on the program. Coach, can you hear us now? All right, she's having some difficulties getting the audio to be able to hear us. So we'll see if we can get that troubleshooted. I see she's having some difficulties with that. We'll see if we can get that ironed out here in a moment, Ed. But she's going to come on and talk about her jersey number 8 getting retired. Of course, the head women's basketball coach for the past 6 years at Old Dominion. She can see us, and I thought she could hear us, but she's having some difficulty right now at the moment with that. So while we get that hopefully troubleshooted, we will see if we can get that ironed out, and we'll give it a third crack at it here to see if she can. Coach, you happen to hear us now? Audio, is it working? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Not getting any audio there. We'll see if she can possibly. She still can't hear us just yet, so we'll see if we can get that ironed out here in just a bit here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Ed likes to do that when I'm talking, is to not be able to hear what I say. That's what he likes.
Well, I'm going to say you played full in the pool right before we got her on, so that.
That's you're blaming. You're blaming it on that. I'm sure that had a lot to do
I'm
with it.
trying to be open-minded, but
yeah,
it's tough. We got to get her on because it's a lot to go over with her. Not just the idea of that retired number, which is pretty neat to see and hear, but talk about the WNBA in general. You know, it's been under scrutiny this year, heavy, and sometimes not for the good reasons. I'm anxious to hear what Coach has to say about, her league that she played in there and did some great things for, to see what her feeling is too on the WNBA. Which
it's All-Star Weekend, by the way. It's All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, I could say tonight's the All-Star game for WNBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's the All-Star game. So we'll see if she happens to have this fixed out, and see if we'll get her a note. See if she can get this.
Is she on? Is she at home?
I think she is. I see the whiteboard behind her, so I think she might be coaching. So we'll see if she is, or not coaching, we should say, finished up. This time of year, they're all recruiting. Recruiting is now 24/7, 365, nonstop.
Yeah,
so
we'll they cannot miss that.
No, they cannot. Sissy. Oh, I see she's now entered on a different device. So this is why she's tech savvy. Oh, I think she can hear us now. Can you hear us, Coach?
I can hear you guys now.
Okay, good.
Perfect. There we go. Well, we thank you for coming on the program, and we were showing it up on the screen. We'll put it back up there. Your jersey number 8 is getting retired coming up on Tuesday night against the New York Liberty. I want to start with you and we know about all the accolades, the 2-time U.S. gold medalist, 3-time All-Star, 2 WNBA championships. You're so decorated. How does this latest honor, stack up with some of those?
It's up there. It's really up there. And I think all of those were nice, but this one feels like an individual award. And it kind of is in the same realm of being selected to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. And it's one that I'm super proud of. It was something that was promised to me, when I retired. And here I am, 11 years, 12 years post my playing career. And now it's finally happened. I'm super happy and excited.
So to kind of touch back on that, what makes this one so much more meaningful in a lot of ways to you? Because, and we'll dive into your playing career, your days at Florida. You were actually drafted before you were drafted in the WNBA, which we'll touch on too. But what makes this one all the more meaningful to you?
I think the thing that makes it more meaningful is it's a culmination of all of my successes that I've had within the WNBA. And while you may have been snubbed on an all-star team here and there within a 17-year career, or being Defensive Player of the Year, the fact that the franchise recognizes my contributions and the fans loved my body of work, that they want to adorn me with this level of recognition, it really speaks to my soul. And it speaks to the type of work that I put on display night in and night out for the Sparks franchise.
Fantastic. Now, my colleague doesn't know all of your playing background, but take us all back to the late 90s. Of course, you were quite a player at Florida, SEC Player of the Year, Wade Trophy winner. Ironically, you play your final college game against the school that you're coaching at now for 7 years in Old Dominion during the NCAA tournament. What was your mindset and expectations after being chosen 4th overall by the Sparks in that 99 WNBA draft?
Well, I didn't know what I was walking into in terms of, what to expect. But I knew that it was huge. And I knew that I was going to go there and I was going to work my butt off. And I was going to dive deep into whatever it was that the coach or the general manager wanted. I wanted to be all of that and then some. And once I got there and I was affiliated with DeLisha on a different level, we were within the Olympic ranks together as I was a youngin' coming up within the USA basketball system. But now to be her teammate, the one who's going to be working the high-low with her, that was different, a different level of intimacy that we shared on the court in the trenches. And I was able to learn from one of the greats on a daily basis. And that helped refine a lot of the things within my game that was skill sets that I may have lacked, or even mindset that I needed to gain. And it was an amazing ride. And being able to work on my face-up game with James Worthy, being coached by Michael Cooper, Laker great, doing ABC 7 LA with Norm Nixon, just being able to just refine every skill that was within me at the highest levels from some of the best in the games on the men's and women's side.
Yeah, with some of the LA greats like Nixon and Coop and Worthy and Lisa Leston. She's one of the finest from LA too, getting her jersey number 8 retired coming up on Tuesday. DeLisha Milton-Jones, head women's basketball coach of the Monarchs of Old Dominion, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Ed.
DeLisha, first of all, great to see you again. It's been a while since I got a chance to see you and talk with you. And I do want to say this. The reason the mess up you had on your end had nothing to do with you. This, as you know, because you worked with him, you've done great bringing him along. You know, his fool in the pool segments, which is what I call them. He played it. He played one right before you came on. I told him not to do it. It's going to mess something up, and he still did it. And what happened? He knocked your audio out.
You see what he needs to listen. Stop being a hard head. Listen.
DeLisha, this is what I need you all the time on this show. I try to tell people it's not me. They say, "Oh, you're too hard on Hatfield." He's a nut job. He messes things up. He's in the like we had Jeff Jones on, and Matt had this background with the piano, beautiful. He broke into somebody's house. What he did. And so Jeff said,
that's like saying the cops came knocking on the door. Don't say that. Don't say that.
And Jeff says to him, "Hey, Hatfield, go back there and play a few notes on the piano because I know you don't know how to play the piano." And he couldn't do it. So now he is sitting in another part of Virginia Beach where you got this.
What are you talking
Right.
about?
Now I said DeLisha's going to say to him today, I can't wait. Hey, Hatfield, go take a dip in that pool behind you. Let me see you do it. But he won't. He won't. He's a fake. He's a phony. He messes things up. I just want to get that out of the way because we're celebrating you right now, not him. But you know what I've been through dealing with him.
I appreciate that, and I feel sorry for you. Come on, Matt, be better.
Hey, the good book says, do unto others as you should do to help them out, something like that. He's my charity case. DeLisha, the question I have for you, as we kind of go from your years playing, and it doesn't seem like, 20-some years ago you were in the WNBA?
25 years ago, last championship, right? Or first championship,
Yeah, the first. Because to me, it looks like you could go out there right now and I think get a double-double. I believe that. Okay?
Listen, somebody needs to sign me. I need to get the 500 games played.
See, that needs to happen. But my question to you would be, as we look at how the WNBA has come along, and I was telling Matt before we brought you on, WNBA All-Star Game is tonight, and they've been in the spotlight a lot. And I kind of have to say this for the wrong reasons.
Okay.
But before we address that, I wanted to say to you, how would you see a younger DeLisha in the WNBA now? How would your game be? What would be different? What do you think you can get away with more as you watch the game? And they got some talented big young ladies and inside in there. But how would you do?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great question. Number one, I think I would probably save a lot of money when it comes to technicals because they let them say any and everything out there. So I definitely would be richer, number one. And then number two, I think that I would pair well. I'm super athletic. I was super athletic as a rookie coming in. Didn't really have a jump shot, but I would rebound the heck out of the ball. Tremendous screener. Had baby hook and footwork type moves within the paint like Hakeem Olajuwon. So I think I would have been a force in there.
I can see it. They called her D Nasty for a reason, Ed.
Hey.
Well, when I heard that nickname, I was like, okay, I don't know her well enough to call her D Nasty because it don't sound good. But she must have done some things out there on that defense that the other girls were looking at the referee like, hey, what about that? What she's hooking me? What are you doing? She's holding my shorts. She's talking to. So I'm thinking the female Dennis Rodman.
Oh, you know what? I'll take that. And a little bit of Ron Artest and a little bit of Draymond Green. You know, it was a combination of all of those things. The D Nasty nickname came from my tenacity more than me being dirty. You know, I was the one that was going to understand the scouting report. I was going to know your favorite moves better than you. I was going to beat you to your spots. I was going to be physical with you. I wanted to eat onion and garlic before the game so you could smell my breath all game. I'm going to talk nice to you in your ear. Not really nice, but, you know, I might say some stuff like, you know, you ran that play wrong. You actually was supposed to, why are you going off early? Oh, I got you. You scared? What you think? You know, I was that type of person. I played the psychological game with people as well, too. And I've had some heavy, hot, and heated moments on the court with some of the game's greatest.
Well, and to follow up on Ed's question there with you, DeLisha, I think it's interesting because you put on a WNBA game any given night. You and I've had this conversation about women's and men's college basketball. Leads are never safe. You see 15, 20-point leads evaporate, and I think the three-point shot has changed. I heard when Gino Auriemma did the game with Robin Roberts a couple weeks ago, the scoring's gone up, you know, exponentially from, you know, the first part of the league to now. What do you make of it all? And there are some changes that have been good, bad, and different. What do you make of all the evolving of the sport?
I love it. I love where we see the trajectory of everything going. It's going up. And we were, with the pioneers within this game, we wanted it to be where it's at. We wanted it to be able to have staying power. We wanted fans to understand that it's a beautiful brand of basketball that we play below the rim. And we can occasionally play above the rim by, you know, dunking the ball, this, that, and the other. But we look at it all as if it's just 2 points. We want to get the job done. But the game has evolved because of the three-point line and also because of the skills that players are coming into the league with. While they may be young, they're skilled up. And every rep that they get in practice and every rep that they get within the game, it's allowing them to hone in on skills that they can present in critical moments to allow a 19-point lead to become a thing of the past, and they can get back in a game and win. It's an exciting brand that the fans get to see night in and night out, and you have high-powered names that have pull behind them where you want to see Angel Reese and you want to see the me bounds. But while people may look at it in a derogatory way, I think it's amazing that you can actually go and pursue the ball and get your miss and clean it up. When you see Caitlin Clark, whether she's out there flopping like a fish out of water or whether she's out there shooting NBA range threes, and you can just see the craftiness and the skills that she has at a young age. I love it all. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. We're talking with DeLisha. Milton-Jones gets her jersey number 8 retired with the LA Sparks coming up on Tuesday night, July 28th against the New York Liberty. Our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. And, of course, get ready for year number 7. 6 winning seasons at 6 years at Old Dominion. We'll chat about how the Lady Monarchs looking for 26-27 in a moment. But, Coach, I also want to, before I kick it back to Ed here, hit on, every athlete, I think, has that seminal moment. Going back to your career here for a second. Was there a moment in your pro time where you knew you had arrived, or better yet, you felt your true value was recognized as one of the premier players in the sport? You talked about playing alongside Lisa Leslie, the championships, the All-Star games came, but when did you know, all right, I'm here?
I think I probably had my I'm here moment after our back-to-back championship, that second one. And if you really do a deep dive analytically on my game, I showed up in the critical moments. When it's the playoffs, that's when my averages might be crazy. I might average 15 or 17. I might average a double-double. And it was just something about my play that just went to a whole nother level. And for me, being that tenacious player that I was, and I understood scouting reports, it just added to the fact that it was my coming out party, that I knew these players as well as I did. And now we played them 3, 4, 6 times. So now in these moments, this is when you can see the true artistry of who I was as a player really come out.
Good deal, Ed.
Coach, the other thing that I was interested in, and of course, I'm going to kind of dip into your background now in coaching, that I just, when I did some games with Matt, some of your games with Matt,
okay,
the interesting dynamic I had with you was, and I'm going to totally change your mindset.
Okay.
You're the head coach, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, your husband is one of your assistants.
Yes.
That doesn't happen a whole lot. I can guarantee you this. In the NBA, there's no guy with his wife on the bench next to him. So you have something that's very unique. But I got to ask you, how in the world does it work? Because, and I'll say this the right way, in those intimate moments as husband and wife, I hope there's not an argument about, you should have went zone. I told you, I've got to start listening, even though you're the head coach, I am your husband. How do you guys handle that?
Well, first I want to say that I'm so appreciative for our athletic director, Dr. Wood Seelig, for being able to not be a conformist and do things different, and allowing us to have this amazing opportunity to coach together. He sees not only the value in me as a head coach, but he sees the value in me having my wingman, who happens to be my husband, on staff as well. Now, there are moments where I'm hard-headed like Matt is towards you, to where he's like, hey, you need to go zone. You need to call a timeout. And I'm like, nope, we're going to get through this, or nope. And so I have to hear about it in the car ride, home. Or sometimes I elect to be like, you know what, I'm driving my own car. I don't want to deal with it, in this moment. But it works for us because we set parameters. We set parameters in terms of how we communicate, when we communicate, and what we're communicating about. We keep home. We are the kings and queens of compartmentalization, but we're both junkies for the sport. So it's hard not to talk basketball, but we know how to keep it clean and kosher when we need to.
And that is really cool to hear, because, the one thing that the trump card you have over him as a wife is, first of all, I'm your wife. I don't have to listen to you anyway. Most wives don't listen to their husband anyways. So what's the big difference when it's, hey, should we go zone, timeout? No, we're not doing it. And I've told you before. So that's really cool to see. And I think that's an interesting fact of your background. And it is a funny thing to see because we just don't see much. But let me transition back.
Okay.
WNBA. A lot of eyes on it, and then a lot of it since Caitlin Clark has come to town for the wrong reasons. We're hearing about a little bit of racism in the sport. We're hearing about jealousy. We're hearing about people not feeling like they're getting their just dues, and then we're all saying it's everybody's done better because of Caitlin Clark. So we're giving her all this glory of better travel, and I'm like, what? How do you, as a star from the WNBA, one of those early pioneers, here's the other thing I say to some people: WNBA didn't become great yesterday.
Right.
Yourself, Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo. There has been tremendous players in the past that have shaped this league, that have gone through a lot of stuff to get the league where it is now. Your assessment on today's WNBA, what do you like, and what are some things that pushing your button that you really don't like seeing?
Well, number one, I couldn't agree with you more. Caitlin Clark brings a level of attention because she's a talented player, and she's a generational type player, but she isn't what makes the WNBA, and the league will be here 20 plus years after her. The league was here 20 plus years before her. And this has all been in the making. And it just so happens that she was born in the right moment and the right time for her to be the right person that has that right type of skill set to be able to be polarized the way that she is. I think it also stems from the NCAA tournament. When you have Clash of the Titans, when it's Iowa and LSU in the finals, and Angel gets the best of her in that moment. And then you see the infamous shot where Angel's doing this and ring me to Caitlin. Well, little do people know, Caitlin is one of the best trash talkers there is. It's just that she looks like the victim and like she's being abused by the way that people like to cut and clip and edit things to fit a narrative that they want to create. So it's a professional league, and you're dealing with grown women. So there's going to be levels of physicality that she hasn't met before. So the hits are going to be harder. The screens are going to be harder. The play is going to be more physical. I think she's adjusting. She's hitting some bumps and bruises as she goes, but she's adjusting. Now, with the people that bring racism into it, we have no place for you. We would rather you not be a fan, because this game was being played well before you, and your bigotry and your sexism and your just downright ugly racist remarks that are made. The players are playing the game, and they're playing it very well. Caitlin shouldn't be polarized in that manner, because I see her, she's an advocate for women, for men, for the LGBTQ plus community. So don't associate her with your hate. And don't associate our league with that. Don't politicize us in that way, because that's not what we're here for. It doesn't happen on the men's side, so why are you doing that on the women's side? Why are you trying to sully something that has substance and is beautiful and can be a future for your daughter, your niece, your cousin, your sister? Help support it. And usually people hate things, or you have that level of resistance towards things that are doing something good. The WNBA has been doing something good, and it's been changing women's lives and perspectives and their respect that they have in the world as women and in the world as an athlete. So those type of individuals just need to keep it moving, or D Nasty has to show up.
There you go. Well, before we let you run here, a couple more. I want to also touch on, I think you said that beautifully, Coach. It is cool to see these games now on Saturday night prime time on CBS, or seeing games on ABC, ESPN, and big windows, whether it's, Asia Wilson or Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or whoever it is, to get the limelight of the league. This is great to see. And I'm curious, you now, as one of these ambassadors, you're now coaching college basketball. You were a WNBA All-Star and champion, and you're a role model, whether you like it or not. What are the things that you say that want to be the next player in the league or want to coach one day? What's your message to young girls out there and people that want to get to that potential spot that you're in?
Dreams are real and they do come true. And when you're watching TV, don't just watch it and be like, oh, that's cool. Watch it and understand that it started with someone's dream and they were bold enough to put it on paper and bring it to life. And now it's creating opportunity for them and many, many more within their legacy. And I would say, while you're dreaming, also have patience with yourself as you're going through the process. You're never going to get it right on the first attempt or even the 100th attempt, but you just keep pushing and showing yourself grace as you fail forward. And I want the players in the league nowadays to understand that while you are here and you're reaping the benefits of the work of someone that came before you, you still have a charge to keep. And the onus is upon them to leave it better than they found it. It's about elevating and leveling up. And if we want this league to be here for another 50 years, then it's going to be about the work that they are doing and how they're carrying the torch from where we last placed it.
Some powerful words there from DeLisha Milton-Jones, the head women's basketball coach of Old Dominion University, getting her jersey number 8 retired, coming up on Tuesday night when the LA Sparks play host to New York Liberty, and she gets ready for year number 7 at the helm of Old Dominion with maybe the dreams of going dancing. I want to go dancing, Ed, in 2027 with the Lady Monarchs. I'm going to put it into words. Don't shake your head. I want to go dancing. Look it down. What are you doing?
Come on, Ed. I know you got a mean tango in you. Come on.
Yeah.
DeLisha.
Yes.
Let me say this to you.
Okay.
I can dance for a white dude. Trust me.
Okay.
I can dance. I can have some people vouch for me. And because I stay in my lane. Two-step works. Okay.
Two-step. Okay.
All right. This joker gets on the dance floor. I'm telling you right now.
What?
You'll lose all credibility. They will take back most of your awards you have got. You'll have to hand back the jersey. I'm telling you. I've seen him try to, what he calls, hey, I got the vibe.
Talking NCAA tournament dancing, you dope. What are you talking about?
And DeLisha, I said to him with a straight face one time, don't do that move no more.
Don't do that no more.
Yeah, don't do that. So that right there tells you how you would look at it. You'd be like, Matt, sit down.
Matt, what type of gyrating are you doing over there?
I'm talking about the team winning that game to win the summit, and we go dancing. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then tell your story through dance. Then tell
there you go. See, she's good with it, Ed.
That part would be great. That part would get you to the NCAA tournament, get deep into there, win that doggone thing. All that's good.
Yes.
But if this knucklehead jumps on the floor and starts doing whatever, I'm telling you, somebody's going to say, DeLisha, can I see you over here a moment, please? That's what's going to happen. So I'm just warning you. DeLisha, my last 2 things for you, my dear. My last 2 things.
Okay.
You're getting the jersey retired. Do you have your WNBA jersey that you get to keep? You have one?
I do, actually. When I went for the 30th anniversary of the inauguration of the league, they actually gave me a jersey. So I'm in the process of getting that framed.
Okay. And I'm with you. You said a few minutes ago that when you retired, it said they were going to retire your jersey. I would say to them, 11 years later, what happened? Did I score more points to get it retired or something?
Listen, they had some changes managerially within the franchise, and so some things get lost in the shuffle. And it would have happened last summer, but Candace Parker had a book coming out that they wanted to release and have her jersey retirement at the same time. So that's why she kind of inched me out in terms of order and process. But it's okay. Better late than never.
And the other thing is, Lisa, and I asked Matt this too before. I hate to keep blaming him on stuff, but he messes up. How come you work with this young lady and we don't get her on enough to talk about the upcoming season? So I'm telling you, as co-owner of the show, We will have you on later to talk about your girls,
Okay.
The other members of your staff, your
Yes.
husband.
I would love it.
And talk about, and I also want to ask you too, because it would take another 2 hours and we got other people, how the transfer portal NIL affects you and the women's side of it. We talk about men's so much, but I would like to get from you. My last thing with you is, and I hate to do it, but I got to.
What is
I'm working that game, your game with Matt. He all of a sudden says to me during a break, "Hey man, I got some candy for you if you want it." I'm thinking, oh, okay, I can use a Almond Joy, whatever. He goes deep in the bag, his big black bag with a million things in it. I think he's got his baby toys in there. He pulls out this bag of candy. So I said, "What the hell is that?" He said, "Well, I got candy, for the." I said, "You took that from your grandmother's purse." At the bottom of the purse.
Grandma's not alive anymore. What are you talking about?
I said, "What is that? This stuff is sticky. You don't even have a wrap." I said, "There's candy here you probably ate and put back in the bag. Don't give me this, man." Does he do that to you?
Listen, the candy bag is my friend. Matt understands the assignment. Now, the only way that I would say he took it out of his grandmother's purse is if it had butterscotch and just peppermints in there, but that wasn't the case. He has the trendy candy. He has the Skittles. He has the Andes. He has that decadent chocolate. But then he also has the Jolly Ranchers, and he understands me. He gets me.
Thank you.
So we're not going to rag on him too hard because I love that candy bag.
I got the butterscotch and the peppermint unwrapped, and it was all stuck together.
It's your fault. You didn't dig deep enough. It's your fault. Well, Coach, we thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations. This is such a cool honor for you to get this long overdue, as Ed said, getting your jersey retired coming up July 28th. That's this Tuesday. LA Sparks, New York Liberty. For those that can't be there, you can watch it, I'm sure, online, TV. You can find the game. It'll be a neat moment for you and your family and everybody that's helped in this endeavor. And we thank you so much for coming on and putting up with our nonsense for 30 minutes, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to be on there. Thanks for the invite, Ed. Stay on top of Matt. I need to be on there. Yes.
Yeah, we'll get you back. I'll guarantee that.
Okay.
Even if I got to throw this knucklehead in the pool, you and I can do the interview. You and I can do the show. Actuality, let this nut go flounder in the water.
Okay. Or play the piano, one of the two.
Right, there you go. Hey, congrats to you, DeLisha. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Keep getting those accolades. Keep getting those wins. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
DeLisha Milton-Jones, the Hall of Famer and the head coach at Old Dominion, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk. When we come back, another special guest. We just go from one guest to the next. Paul Stone of Paul Stone Sports Talk and some college football. It's almost that time of year. He's going to take us around the Commonwealth and beyond. I think he's joining us from the Lone Star State. It's on the way here on 757 Sports Talk. And they are watching where, Edward?
They're watching us. Cova Sports TV. I hope they have liked us. I know it's tough. Hopefully you're going to share this with other people, get them on board, and subscribe.
Did you know that the minimum limits in Virginia are $30,000? $30,000 is a lot of money on an individual basis, but if you're involved in a personal injury matter, that's not enough. Here at Williams-Deloitte, we're happy to provide a consultation on the amount of coverage you have in your vehicle. It can be confusing. Not many people understand it. You know you need to have it, but do you have enough? Give us a call today at 757-547-5555 so we can help you prepare in the case of an automobile accident or any other personal injury matter that you or your family may find yourself in.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why there's CHKD Sports Medicine. Advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours.
What's up at DQ? Oh, just the best deal ever. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Bacon cheeseburger, fries, drink, and a sundae. No time to be modest. It's all full size for just $7. Right now at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us. And the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
Oh, nothing like some burgers and dogs on the grill and having them with some French fries. Did you know that the first French fries were not cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And welcome back to 757 Sports Talk on Cobra Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield, and Ed, we have a special guest with us. He is the man with Paul Stone Sports, talking all things college football with us. It is Paul Stone. Paul, good to have you back on the show. How you been?
Been good, guys. Man, here we are, July 25th. From where I sit, it's pretty much college football season. We're going to be starting summer workouts here in another week or so for some schools like the University of Virginia that play in week 0. So it's full steam ahead from now until January 20th or so. So looking forward to it. Nothing better than college football.
Absolutely. And let's talk about some of the schools in the Commonwealth of Virginia, because there are a number of schools that I know you are going to dive in on with us here. And we'll start with the 2 ACC schools, Virginia, Virginia Tech. Virginia, much better season last year, getting to the ACC championship game. We know what Tony Elliott has done, pointing that program upward in the ACC. No, the ACC hasn't gotten the love that the SEC and Big Ten get naturally so. But we look at Virginia Tech, new times, trying to get that thing turned around under James Franklin, who was certainly doing good things a couple years ago at Penn State. Penn State gets booted out of Penn State. Now the Hokies have some excitement, and I think a schedule that's more favorable. Break down those two, and which one do you like more for this coming year, Hokies or Who's?
Yeah, I'll start with Virginia Tech. Obviously there's a lot of optimism surrounding the program there in Blacksburg, as you alluded to, with the hiring of James Franklin. Also, as you guys, I'm sure, have reported or aware of, they've gotten 2 huge monetary gifts in recent months, $75 million. I think one donation, $20 million, another, mostly earmarked for athletics. So they've got a nice infusion of money there. Franklin's bringing some guys with him from State College to Blacksburg, including his quarterback, Ethan Grunkemeyer, and several others. Got a guy that's already there in the program, talking about some of their existing talent, defensive tackle Kamari Copeland, one of the very best defensive tackles in all of college football. I saw yesterday or this morning where he set a program record with a 510-pound bench press. So pretty impressive there. But do they have, my question is this year, I think the optimism really is stronger, maybe midterm and mid to long term. But you're looking at a program that, of course, you can turn things around quickly in college football these days, but you're looking at a Virginia Tech team that has had losing seasons, in 5 of the last 6 seasons. The one season they did have a winning year, they were just 7-6. So I think, if they were to go 7-5 here, I think that would be a good start. You talked about the schedule. Their conference schedule is a tough one. The ACC schedule maker did James Franklin and the Hokies no favors. Got a really difficult road schedule. They go to California, Clemson, SMU, and Miami for the better teams in the conference. So very difficult there. 7-5 would be a nice start, in my opinion. Anything better than that would be gravy. Looking at Virginia, this is a Cavalier team coming off of an 11-win season, played in the ACC championship game, lost that game to Duke 27-20. But they now face just the immense challenge of a pretty massive roster turnover. They lose a lot of people. They had an offense last year, first of all, that averaged 31 points and 418 yards. They lose most of the key, especially skill pieces from that offense. Chandler Morris, their quarterback, out of eligibility. They lose their running back, Jamari Taylor, who rushed for about 1,100 yards or over 1,000 yards anyway last year. Harrison Whaley was another guy who ran the ball effectively for the Hoos. And then their top 4 pass catchers from 1 year ago, guys with 43 catches or more, are also out the door. So a lot of productivity lost for Virginia. I think things are a little bit more stable on the defensive side of the ball. They have a linebacker, Cam Robinson, who is clearly one of the top defenders in the entire conference. Would be no surprise if he can stay healthy, if he was ACC Defensive Player of the Year in 2026. Just a great building block for that defense. They do play a friendlier schedule than Virginia Tech. Their schedule only ranked 68th by Phil Steele. That's one of the easiest schedules for any Power 4 team in the country this year. They do travel to SMU, which they'll be an underdog as it stands today in that game, but they avoid Miami, Clemson, and Louisville. I've got Virginia Tech, actually, their power rating a half point higher than Virginia. And talking to some other people, I've talked to some people who I really respect. They've got Virginia slightly ahead of Virginia Tech and some about even. So I think we've got 2 teams here. Things will change quickly as we start getting data and results. But going into the year, these teams seem to be on pretty even ground.
Pretty good breakdown there from Paul Stone here with us, Ed. And I like hearing those names from our backyard, like Cam Robinson, got to stay healthy. He's just from Essex High School in Tappa. Hannix had the injuries, but tremendous defender. And Kamari Copeland in our backyard from Kellum High School in Virginia Beach. But, Coach Young, we have some more schools from the Commonwealth we want to touch on with Paul beyond the Hokies and the Hoos, don't we?
Yeah, Paul. First of all, glad to coming back on. Glad to see you and love listening to your stuff with college football. I'm going to reserve my squad here pretty soon. Get ready for it. You know it is Fighting Irish, Notre Dame. Oh, yeah. A little nervous. But we do be here in our backyard, really backyard, Old Dominion. And also let's put in with them JMU. They are rivals and we have tons of fan base. Some idea maybe if you have anything on Old Dominion and JMU.
I'll tell you, Coach, this is no secret, but these group of 6 schools just face such a difficult challenge of basically constructing an entirely new roster from year to year. I mean, they just get their best players. They not only lose players, obviously, to the expiration of eligibility, but they lose their best and brightest to the Power 4 schools and schools with greater resources. And certainly James Madison and Old Dominion are in that category. CBS Sports did a good job of creating a graphic of all 138 teams at the FBS level in college football. What percentage of returning snaps do they return? Not surprisingly, James Madison, first of all, they only returned 19% of their snaps from last year. So they rank 131st out of 138 teams in that category. Old Dominion, they return 31% of their snaps, so they rank 100th out of 138. So both teams not returning a ton of their snaps from 1 year ago, very successful seasons. And the biggest losses, obviously, at the critical quarterback position. They both lose their not only starting quarterbacks, but very productive, very talented starting quarterbacks to Power 4 programs. You have, first of all, JMU's Alonzo Barnett. He's off to Central Florida to play for Scott Frost there in the Big 12. And then Old Dominion's dual threat guy, a guy who rushed for over 1,000 yards last year, a veteran, Colton Joseph, off to the Big 10 to play for Wisconsin. So those are just huge losses. You can't replace those kind of players. But, I think more, not to say that they won't be there in the end, because it's very difficult to assess the relative strength of these teams in these group of 6 conferences from one season to the next, because there's just so many new pieces, so many new parts. I think maybe almost by default, JMU I saw was the coach's pick to win the East Division of the Sun Belt. Old Dominion picked second. So that may or may not come to fruition. You look at these coaches, both very accomplished. Billy Napier did great things at Louisiana Lafayette in this same conference several years back before going to the University of Florida. And then Ricky Ronnie, I think he's among the top group of 6 coaches out there, just does great things at Old Dominion each year. But again, they're fighting an uphill battle in today's environment. It's not really a fair fight. So, I think there's just nowhere, I hate to say this, I don't think it's an unusual take, and maybe it'll give them some impetus. I'm sure they're talking about people like myself who are saying they're due for a letdown, but I think there's nowhere to go but down for these programs. And I think both are going to take a substantial step backward. I would be surprised if either won the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah, Paul, I'm not sure which is more surprising to me. The amount of success Ricky Ronnie has had as an underdog, which you can dive into those numbers now against the spread and straight up. You've been on the show. We've had Phil Steele on the show about this before. He's incredible as an underdog. Or JMU's level of success at a high level, going from 1AA, FCS to FBS. They won championships under Mickey Matthews and Mike Houston. He goes to East Carolina. You see what obviously Kurt Signetti did. And Indiana becomes a champion. That's the biggest surprise of anything. By the way, the Hoosiers, which you can touch on, but JMU still in that limelight and making the college football playoff, which was astonishing to me that they did that. And I don't know which one's more stunning to you. Is it what Ronnie's done as an underdog, or JMU staying in the mix with the change in leagues, levels, and coaches?
Yeah, talking about Ricky Ronnie's performance at Old Dominion as the betting underdog. When you're the betting underdog, that infers that the public, believes that the other team has a superior roster. So you're basically going in with a roster that is less than your opponent, and you are bridging that gap by preparation and by coaching. And that just attests and gives credence to the fact that Ricky Ronnie's a big-time football coach. And then James Madison, you talked about Indiana's undefeated season this past year, making the playoff the year before in 2024. The influence and the amount of James Madison players on that team, they should probably take an arm off the trophy and maybe send it to Harrisonburg, because there was a lot of JMU influence on that national championship roster. So they both, what those two two programs have been able to accomplish, and certainly Coach Ronnie is just pretty incredible.
Coach Paul, you hit right on something that Matt and I discussed on the show with some other people. This day and age of the crazy transfer, the smaller schools have become a farm system, minor league for the big boys, even in coaching. Signetti coached at JMU, did a great job. Indiana, who's done nothing in football for the most part, brings him in, brings in those players, and now it's all we talk about is University of Indiana football. And you're right. You hit it right on the head. You could be those teams like Old Dominion, JMU. You can have great seasons, and the better season you have, you're guaranteed to lose your kids to the bigger schools. And really, there's not much you can do about that. It's just the way the landscape is now. Correct?
It's sad. I think it's one of the things, and I believe in a meritocracy, if you want to call that. The best and the best and the strongest and the ones with the most resources are going to be in great position to win. But to have we have to have a more competitive athletic structure that is not so punitive. If these teams are going to be part of the FBS, the 138 team structure that we have currently, they have to have, some level of stick. They've got to have some ability to maintain their roster. They probably know in some cases entering a season that this guy, he's not going to be with us next year. And then some guys start developing and start showing their talents maybe week 3, week 4, and they say, this guy's not going to be with us anymore. So it's such an awkward situation, and it's such an unfortunate situation. These schools, I know the SEC and the Big Ten and the big dogs don't want to give up their control and their power and the huge advantage that they have in today's setup. But there's got to be some rules in place to restrict this year-to-year pillaging of these group of 6 rosters and all this movement where a coach, it's nothing for Steve Sarkisian to fill in the gaps through the transfer portal, or Ohio State and Ryan Day. The big boys, they have to get maybe 6 to 10 guys to give them depth or to fill in some gaps. Guys like Ricky Ronnie and now Billy Napier, James Madison, they've got to reconstruct their roster every year. They just have so few players returning. It's just not, again, it's not a level playing field, and they've got to be given a little bit more of an opportunity for some continuity.
Absolutely. One more Commonwealth of VA team I want to touch on with you, Paul, before I let Ed tackle the Irish with you here. And it's Liberty coming off their first losing campaign in like 20 years. Jamie Chadwell at the helm there. I got to do the radio call on ODU side for their game when Liberty came in during that rain monsoon. But just a few years back, they had Malik Willis, who was a first round. I mean, they had a lot of limelight. They were right where JMU was. Do you see them turning things around, or is Conference USA going to be too tricky for them to navigate in your eyes?
Well, I've got, and this and $6 or $7 will get you a coffee at Starbucks. But in my opinion and my prognosis on Liberty is a little, not as much doom and gloom as the schools we just discussed. I actually like this Liberty team. This is a Liberty team, first of all, that last year uncharacteristically went 4-8, lost their last 4 games by a single score, 7 points or fewer. 3 of those, the last 3 games of their regular season and their season period, they lost their last 3 games all in overtime. So just an incredible, stroke of, bad luck, if you want to say. They were -7 last year in turnover margin. They were also -3 in a category that Phil Steele kind of created called net close losses, those being games decided by 7 points or fewer. So they were -3 in those types of games. So I think they're going to return. They're going to get some of that good fortune back. They've got great resources. You guys, I'm sure, know that among the Conference USA teams, nobody spends more in NIL than Liberty. So they do have that advantage in their corner. They've got, looking at their personnel, they've got 2 quarterbacks who have started games at the collegiate level, Deshaun Purdy and Ethan Vasco. I think they've combined for a total of 18 starts at the collegiate level. Vasco started several games last year, but I think Purdy, the Wake Forest transfer, is eventually going to be the starter here. That would be my gut feeling. But whoever it is, they bring critical experience to that quarterback position, which is the most prominent in not only college football, but in my opinion, all of sports. But I think the most significant addition for Liberty, and one to keep an eye on, is the addition of running back Kanye Udoh. He's a guy who last year at Arizona State kind of got lost in the shuffle, didn't really get that many carries. But the year before at Army in 2024, rushed for over 1,100 yards, averaged over 6 yards a carry. He's a big physical guy, 6'1", 220 pounds. I think he's going to return to his 1,000-yard rushing ways there in Lynchburg. And I'm going to talk about a game, and we've talked about, obviously, JMU already, but I'm sure this game's attracting already a lot of attention in you guys' neck of the woods. Liberty traveling to James Madison opening weekend on September 5th in both teams' season opener. Liberty at the stores, the sports books that open games up early a few weeks ago, they opened 7.5 point favorite. I say Liberty. James Madison opened, a 7 or a 7.5 point favorite. But Liberty has taken money. That line is now down to 6 at some stores, 6.5 at others. But I like Liberty in this game. I like Liberty plus 6.5 over James Madison. I'll take it a step further on the money line. You can get Liberty at plus 195, almost 2-1. I'll take Liberty as well at plus 195 to win the game outright on the money line. So I think Liberty is going to travel to Harrisonburg and beat James Madison in week 1, erasing last year's 31-13 victory by JMU there in Lynchburg.
Superb breakdown there by Paul. I love it. My dad doesn't love it. He's a JMU class of 77 grad, but he'll get over it. It is 757 Sports Talk here with Paul Stone, the college football handicapper extraordinaire. Paul Stone Sports here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. And that backfield combo with Udoh, who you mentioned was once upon a time fullback at Army, to go with Peyton Jones, who's from our backyard, and Maury High School in Norfolk. We'll see if another guy from our neighborhood, and Ethan Vasco, quarterback from Oscar Smith and Chesapeake, gets on the field. But Liberty could be a trendy upward in the standings type of team there. Ed, all right, it's your time, Ed. September 6th. I know you can't wait for it. The Irish hosting Wisconsin. There's the music. What do you got, Coach?
Now put all those other teams out of the way. Now we're talking about the greatest college football program in history, most Heisman winners ever. The tradition is under the Golden Dome. I got to throw all that stuff out there to you, Paul. My Fighting Irish. I'm a little nervous. everything points to a great year. A lot of people think they can win the national title, at least get in the game. I'm a little Carr is a Heisman candidate. Freeman is people wanted Freeman, and Notre Dame didn't let him go, and they think he's solidified as one of the best ever now. And give me Paul Stones, the real deal on the Irish, and give it to me straight. You know, don't just because I'm an Irish a lover and think they're going to do everything. Just give it to me straight.
You know, I could go on and go a little more deeper down the field, but I think there are 5 teams, Coach, that could win the national championship. I'm going to give them in my order that I have them power rated. I've got Ohio State and Oregon at the same power rating. I have Georgia power rated number 3. I have Notre Dame power rated number 4, and I have Texas number 5. And I think one of those 5 teams is going to win the national championship. And I really don't know if any of them, if I was going to pick one team, I think Notre Dame's available right now to win the national title at plus 650. Not real long odds, but that's probably the one bet I would take if I was going to bet that national championship outright market. Notre Dame's loaded. I mean, they've got, obviously they've got to replace their 2 running backs, which will not be easy. Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, both picked in the first round, which is just incredible. The first running back combo from a single school to be picked in the first round since way back in 2008 when the University of Arkansas had Darren McFadden and Felix Jones go in the first 22 picks. So Love and Price are out the door, and there's going to be some adjustment there. But CJ Carr, I mean, his second year, he's going to be better than he was in his first year, and he was really good in his first year. Didn't play quite up to standard against the better teams on the schedule, which is not unusual for any player, especially a first-year player. But I think CJ Carr, I think one of 3 guys is going to win the Heisman Trophy. It's going to be Trinidad Chambliss of Ole Miss, Arch Manning of Texas, or CJ Carr of Notre Dame. I think it'll be one of those 3. Notre Dame's schedule, Phil Steele ranks at 66th, toughest in his preseason publication. So they're going to be favored in every game by at least a touchdown. The 2 games that are competitive, they'll go to BYU, and that's a game, I think it is a tricky spot. They're going to be playing in Provo at night in October, currently laying 10.5. They're at DraftKings in the game of the year markets. I think that's a tricky spot for them. That is a game they could lose. And then, of course, the rematch against Miami, I believe that's on November 7th, which is just a day of tremendous college football games. I mean, it is one of the greatest days we've had in many years if you look that day over. But they're going to be hosting Miami, a game they lost last year, obviously in the opener. Notre Dame -7 against the Hurricanes at present. So, as long as they split those games, they'll be okay, and they could very well, they might make it at 10-2. Their schedule would certainly come under scrutiny, but I think the fact that the committee would never admit this, and maybe it's just Paul Stone thinking out loud, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think the fact that they were left out last year, I think they'll get a little more consideration this year. Tie goes to the Irish, if you will. So if they're in a little bit of a debate, I think they'll get a little more consideration. But I wouldn't want to go 10-2 if I was Notre Dame. I'd want to go at least 11-1. This is a team that could go 12-0. You look at their defense, which I hadn't talked about yet. They returned 9 of their top 10 tacklers from a year ago. I mean, they are top 5 quality at all 3 levels of defense. They've got NFL players all over the field. And again, outside of it, and you hate to say something and make it happen, which I don't have the power to do, but outside of a injury to CJ Carr, this is a team that's almost certainly going to be in the college football playoff. Talking about some college football odds, I don't think I've ever seen anything this significant at DraftKings and Caesars William Hill. If you're going to bet Notre Dame to make the college football playoff, you have to lay 800 to win 100. They are minus 800 to make the playoffs. So you would have to take $800 in to make 100 if you were to bet them to make the playoff. That is how prolific they are and how certain the house is and the betting public that they are going to be one of the 12 teams come early December.
I can't speak for you, Paul, but I don't have that kind of money. We know Coach Young does, so maybe he'll loan it to us. But before we let you run, and we'll get you back on the program because your expertise on college football is just tremendous, and we love having you on. We'll get you on during the season, I'm sure. And there, by the way, is that schedule you mentioned, November 7th. It's a gauntlet with BYU, Utah, Notre Dame, Miami, Georgia, Ole Miss, Bama, LSU, Oregon, Ohio State. Can we watch them all, please? I'm waiting for that date. Tell the folks, well, a couple things. Give us one or two surprise teams you might like, and then tell the folks what they'll find on Paul Stone Sports, what they'll get when they subscribe. Go ahead.
A couple of surprise teams I would give. First of all, one of the more polarizing teams probably in all of college football entering 2026 would be the LSU Tigers. And I'm bullish on LSU. I mean, Lane Kiffin, he's told us before, among many things, he's told us that he's the portal king. And I think this offseason he was. I think the additions that they made, the class that they accrued was the best in all of college football. And I don't think it was particularly close. Sam Levitt, their quarterback, the transfer from Arizona State, coming off a Liz Frank injury. He has to stay healthy. But if he does, I think they're a good possibility to be what I believe will be one of 1-4 teams from the SEC to make the playoff. You can get LSU at plus 160 to make the playoff at DraftKings. And then a team that's probably not going to make the playoff, but I think they might exceed public expectations, is a team from the Big 12, the University of Houston. Texas Tech and BYU clearly 1 and 2 in the Big 12 ladder entering the season, but Houston just a little bit behind those teams. They return 50% of their snaps from a year ago. They rank 30th. They have 2 5-star quarterbacks on their roster, not just people saying they're 5 stars, legitimate 5 stars. First of all, their quarterback, Texas A&M, their starting quarterback, Texas A&M transfer Connor Wegman. He is a guy who is developed into a very nice quarterback. He was a former big-time recruit out of the state of Texas. And then incoming freshman, a guy you need to remember, Keyshawn Henderson, a guy from the Houston area, the top quarterback recruit in the entire nation, according to some services. Henderson's going to play early and often. At the Big 12 Media Days a couple of weeks ago, which I attended, head coach Willie Fritz said he'll have the complete playbook. He will play, and he will play with the complete playbook. But Henderson is very athletic, adds a dimension. Willie Fritz, not a household name among casual college football fans, but I think he's one of the very best college football coaches in the game. He's just done big things at Georgia Southern. Took Tulane. I think they finished top 10 back in 2022 when they had that big year. And now Houston last year winning double digits. So I think Houston's going to exceed expectations. And just one more, if you wanted to take a long shot, the American Conference is a conference that is wide open. So many of the teams have lost key players. I don't think Tulane, North Texas, South Florida, or Memphis are going to be anywhere near the level they've been the last couple of years. So I would split one unit, and I would take Navy plus 800 and Army plus 800 to make the college football playoff, because I think there's a good chance that group of 6 team will be from the American. And I think those 2 teams, which are able to retain their players a little bit better than their, other competitors there in the American, based on the service requirements and so forth, they're just better postured. So I think a Navy or Army, especially Navy, has a chance to make the college football playoff this year.
Awesome. And again, he's rocking that. We have a lot of military in the 757, the UTSA Roadrunners hat, but Army and Navy fans are love it. Again, Paul Stone Sports. Give him a follow on the X. Check out the website. It's just fantastic. We thank you so much for coming on, Paul. We'll get you back on at some point, I'm sure, in August, September, to talk more college football with you, and have a great weekend.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully.
You got it. Paul Stone with us here, breaking it down like nobody else can. He does a tremendous job. Coming up next, after a quick word from JES, we got another special guest. It's just been a jam-packed show. You've heard from Paul Stone. You've heard from Derek Boone. You've heard from DeLisha Milton-Jones. He is the former Wizard of Woodside, now the new head football coach. Ed told him back on Radio Days, folks, he's going to come back out of retirement, and here he is as the new head coach at York High School at the Falcons. Danny Dodson with us next right here on 757 Sports Talk after this quick word from JES.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you'll ever see.
And as you can see, me and you are both having trouble starting to talk.
Yep.
I mean, this is something that you're breathing in every day.
Yeah. Like 50% of the air in the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is coming from down here.
Yes, sir.
How's your crawl space looking? You say we're going to be here a while.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get busy.
Get a free and honest inspection with JES Foundation Repair, a Groundworks company.
We're back with joke time. We know you've been waiting for this one. What do you call two doctors? Paramedics.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
There he is. Welcome back to 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield, and Ed, we have a special guest with us now. He is the head football coach of the York Falcons, now on the sidelines in the Bay Rivers District after spending, 24 seasons in the Peninsula District, 159 wins with the Woodside Wolverines, and he spent a couple of years there helping Andy Lynn out at Lafayette. We say hello and happy summer to Danny Dodson. Coach, thanks for coming on the program. It's almost that time of year for football, and welcome back. You never left us, did you? Coach is, I think, trying to get his audio figured out so he can hear us. I think he's having similar issues that DeLisha Milton-Jones had earlier on the program. So hopefully we'll get this ironed out so we can get Coach.
I'm not hearing anybody right now.
Okay. You're not hearing us, Coach? Can't hear us? All right, he's having some technical difficulties picking up the audio for some reason on the I think he's on the mobile device as opposed to the computer. This could be on our end today, Ed, because this is not the first guest to have this issue. Paul and Derek worked out, but so far for maybe it's the D's, DeLisha and Danny have not had the success with it. So hopefully we'll get him to get that ironed out and get him on the show so he can hear us properly on 757.
You guys hear me because I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you, Coach, but you can't hear us at all. He's not hearing us at all. So we'll see if he can possibly reconnect, and we'll get him on the show here to talk about the York Falcons. He's having trouble hearing us for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. We've not had that issue before until today, and it's 2 times now we've had that issue. So I don't think it's specifically now. I thought it might have been DeLisha's computer, but now it might be something on our streaming end. So technology, the joys of technology, right?
Well, I ain't going to complain because there are many times I've tried to come on and I can't come on. I see you or I can hear you or I can't.
We know, but hold on. We know when it's you. It's a you issue. It's not a streaming issue.
No, this computer I've had to throw it across the room a few times.
Well, that's your problem.
Make it work.
We'll see if hopefully Coach can give us a thumbs up. See if he can reconnect or hear us. Hopefully, we'll see if we can get him back on the show and see if he can talk about the Falcons. I want to preview their 2026 campaign here and hopefully get him on so he can hear us. And we'll see if I think he's efforting it right now as we speak. So hopefully he can get it ironed out. And I see he has now left the studio. So we will see if he can reconnect and hear us perhaps. So do apologize about that, folks. We'll try to get him on to talk with us this morning on 757 Sports Talk. And we'll actually give you a chance to see the York Falcons schedule as we wait for him, in fact, in just a moment, too, because they open up the campaign on August 28th at Poquoson, which is not that far off in the distance, Coach. It is literally, we'll call it 4 weeks away. 4 weeks away. I'm sure you're going to blame the pool features as the reason why. But if it was the pool features, then Paul and Derek would not have heard us when they came on. So you can't blame the pool features, even though that's what you love to do and want to do. You can't blame it on the pool. As I look back,
it is what it is. You know, it kind of comes and goes. Like we would like the pool feature to mostly go, but it does mess up some of our guests because they just when they see Fool in the Pool, they're like, what am I on? What is this?
Don't lie to the audience. Don't lie to the audience. Don't lie.
I'm just again keep. DeLisha said it right. Great interview with DeLisha. She was tremendous. And she exposed some of your illnesses and whatever. And, but
I think we got Danny. Hear us now. Coach, can you hear us?
I can now. I heard your last guy. And then as soon as that went off, my sound completely cut off.
Oh, well, I'm blaming Ed. He wants to blame it with me of my rejoined pool features, but we're glad to have you back. And I got to give Ed one thing. He did say when we last spoke to you, I think on radio, and I've seen you on the sidelines helping out Andy Lynn at Lafayette. I knew you were never going to leave the football coaching community and capacity, but Ed did say you would come back. So he did, he doesn't get a lot of things right with his predictions. He's pretty yucky on those, but he did get that one right. You were going to come back and you did.
Yeah, I did. I need a little time away, but I'm ready to get back at it.
Well, let's go there. Oh, go ahead, Ed. You got something to say?
No,
Danny?
I know you, man. I said he's not going to stay out long. First of all, his wife's probably going to tell him, you got to find a job. If you don't get another coaching job or whatever, I will find one for you. So we knew that was going to happen because Danny's just too much with the football stuff. I can see clothes all over the place. Grass hasn't been cut. Your wife's like, what are we doing here? And he's looking at the card. What play should he call? So finally, he's back in charge of his own team. Danny, you're right where we need you. More importantly, it's where those kids need you.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
Well, let's dig into it. You were at Woodside for 24 years, 159 wins, had some really great teams we've got a chance to chronicle during that time, and you go help out Andy Lynn at Lafayette, recharge the batteries. I mean, Ed, by the way, took a year off after his long tenure at Nance River, now coaching in the Bay Rivers at Smithfield for basketball. But what brought you back to the lead chair, and specifically what brought you back there at York High School?
I think, the 3 years I had off was really, really important for me. I think I was getting a little, I was getting tired of some of the stuff from week to week, to month, year to year, and it never ends. So, I needed some time away. Being away and being able to work with Andy there for 3 years, he and I have known each other for almost 40 years, and it was really good to work with a good friend. But there's parts of it I missed, and I was only really with the kids at Lafayette just for those few months, and then I was still teaching at Woodside, and it just I felt like I probably lost the ability to have some real influence on kids, and and it wasn't anything that was bad about Lafayette, just the situation. So when the York job opened up, it was something I've thought about in the past. If it ever opened up, I'd be interested. And I live a mile and a half from York High School, and my youngest daughter graduated from there. So I was excited to have that opportunity.
Yeah, it's so cool, Ed, that he's coming back. Danny, I'll give you a little tidbit here. With Ed's situation, it was a little different than yours. I just got tired of him accompanying me at every basketball game and then driving me nuts. He went to more games than I did with the year off. I said, you got to go back out there and coach. This is too much on me. So I'm the one that helped nudge him back on the sidelines, truth be told. So I don't know if you had that from Andy or your wife or somebody else said you got to get out there as the head coach. But it sounds like you found the peace and happiness during that time. And I'm sure you'll dig into it here with Coach Young. You probably might have picked up a couple things that you didn't have as the head coach, is kind of overseeing things more on the assistant side, right?
Oh, it's really good to see how somebody else does things. When you do your own thing for a long time, you get set in certain things that you do, and being able to watch Andy and how he does things, it was very, very helpful. There's things that he's done that he does that I'll incorporate. There's some things that he does I like doing my way better, but it really was as good as an educational opportunity for me to just see it from a different perspective.
Really cool, Ed.
Well, and Danny, in our profession, especially guys like ourselves that have been around a long time and being successful, as successful you were at Woodside, we do kind of get into I don't want to use the word rut, but we get into a set way of doing things. And sometimes we don't see what else is going on. The year I was off, I did get out to 1 million games. A ton of games. I couldn't sit in the house.
More than
I knew I was coming back coaching because it was in my blood. And the way things happened in Nance River, I wasn't happy with. I thought I was done an injustice for taking a coaching job. For what reason? Give me a reason. Where did I mess up? Well, you didn't. Well, why you just think it's time for a change? But you told me all that craziness. But by going out and watching games, now I didn't get a chance to coach under somebody else, but what I wanted to do was see how everybody does things. Went to some practices, watched how game management. I didn't watch just the game for the sake of watching the game, because I said when I come back, I want to be able to change some things. I want to make sure I can be a better coach for whatever team wants me, and not just keep doing this same thing because it was successful before. I'll just keep doing it again. And I got that perspective, kind of like you're mentioning. You had a great situation being under Andy, who not only is a friend, but he's a successful, one heck of a successful coach. He wins all the time. So you're able to see how he does it. And I like how you said there's some things I saw that I'm going to use, and there's still some things that I have done that I am going to continue to do because they work. And that's a perspective lost on younger coaches. Younger coaches come in gung-ho, guns a-blazing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to change the world and coach. And then they find out until you start getting in front of those kids, things change. And now when you go from Lafayette, Woodside, you're going into York. What situations now with those kids do you say, okay, this is what I've got to do? These are a couple, 1, 2, 3 things I've got to do in my new situation, even if it is bringing some stuff from the old. What were those few things when they said, Coach, we want you to coach our squad?
Well, I think that right now, York's kind of been on a lull as far as football for the last, I guess, 3 years. Been a challenge. So we've got to find a way to get more kids excited about it. But as far as what we do and how we do it, I'm not going to change a lot. I've always had the opinion that you do a few things, you do it very, very well. Don't do a whole lot of different things, X and O wise. So that's kind of the way I'm going to approach this. We're going to be very young this year, and it's going to be a learning experience for a lot of people. So I think for me, I've got to learn to be patient. Went there at Woodside a long time. We won a lot of games, but it wasn't always that way. When we first got there, it was a little bit of a struggle at first, and we got it going. So I've just got to remember to be patient, and things will work out.
Absolutely, Coach. Let's highlight a few of the guys if you can. I know you're starting to learn them, and they're starting to learn you. But any couple of players we should keep an eye out for, offensively, defensively, and you've touched on it. I don't want you to give away all your secrets. I imagine you'll have some of the same formations and things that you had at Woodside, and incorporate that with some new twists and wrinkles. But maybe some kids that we should keep an eye out here on Friday nights this year in the Bay Rivers.
Well, I think that really and truly, there's really only 3 guys that have experience from the past year over there, and I think it's going to be very, very good for us. Jordan Smith, who played tight end for him some last time, and maybe some tackle. I don't know if he played tackle all last year, but I know he was a tight end and a defensive player. I look for big things from him. Sheldon Bundy, who I believe was an all-district player last year, all Bay Rivers district player on the defensive line last year. I expect big things from him. And Asa Vault was a linebacker for them last year. He's another guy that I expect big things from. I mean, those 3 guys have been incredibly dedicated in the offseason for us. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually do when it comes time to play football.
A few more minutes here with Danny Dodson. He is the head football coach of the York Falcons, our guest here on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Their season opener coming up on August 28th at Pocosin Ed. And while they weren't a team that went deep in the postseason last year, they certainly had some successful moments under Doug Pereira and made some deep playoff runs. So it's not like Danny's taken over a cupboard that's entirely bare or a program that's been downtrodden for a long, long time, Coach.
Well, it's true. And of course, you got to replace Blue Smoke. Doug had the I don't know, Dan, if you're familiar with it, but when he would come out of the house or whatever, I think Matt can probably do any better.
Well, he didn't do this a lot, but the one time that Doug, much like you did, not a very animated guy that says a whole lot, but he did the Blue Smoke thing, and Ed and me have attached it to where now Ed cannot go without calling him Blue Smoke. So he's hoping that you either have some new tradition so he can have some moniker that he can attach to you and maybe razz you when the Falcons play the Packers, because Danny, he won't be rooting for you every time like he did last time. He now going to root against you when you play Smithfield. So,
and Danny, it goes without saying, I hope you win every game but one. I'm going to tell you that every year now, and I'll be on the other sideline. I'll be trying to put the whammy on you and whatever. Of course, Tracy don't need me to help him out, and y'all be the last person in that doggone stadium you'll be worried about. So you can take care of your own business. Danny, what about staff? Are you liberty to mention guys who have you brought in, or are you still looking to add before the season starts?
I'm pretty much settled with staff. I've got some guys that were with Doug last year. I've got several guys with Doug last year, and then I've added Sonny Merchant, who was the head coach at Gloucester there for a while, and he was my defensive coordinator at Woodside back in, I think, 2019, and then the spring 2021 and the fall 2021 season. He's going to come in and be my defensive coordinator. So, I'm looking forward to that. Like I say, the guys that were on the staff last year that I have, I'm excited about them. They seem to be bought into what we're trying to do. And I'm looking forward to working with these guys.
Awesome.
And what about now?
Go ahead.
Excuse me,
No.
Matt.
Yeah,
You say are you still going to teach at Woodside, or are you now moved to York to teach?
No, I'm still going to teach at Woodside, just from the standpoint of my time there and retirement situations. If I don't retire from Newport News, I'll lose some nice little chunks that I can get. So I'm going to stay at Woodside for the time being and drive over there every day. It's only about 8-minute drive, so it's not a big deal.
Okay, not that bad. We do have hundreds and hundreds of viewers out there through our YouTube channel and social media channels. And one of our viewers wants to know, is Coach going to run an offense like Lafayette or Pecos? And care to comment on that? And I guess while you comment on that too, Coach, so a follow-up to that would be kind of, you probably see some similarities and differences from your time in the Peninsula District, what teams run offensively, to what's being run in the Bay Rivers, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it. I've been a wing tee guy for over 30 years, so that's not going to completely change. I do think that we have to do something a little more unique. I think that, Andy and Elliot do a great job running the wing tee over there. So we're going to have to bring a little something different there to counteract that. But we're going to run the football. That's what we're going to have to do, and that's what we're going to get good at. So is it going to be exactly what those guys do at Pecos and Lafayette? No, but there'll be some similarities.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you got one of those guys like a Carter Jones up front, right, or a Balm Hogg. Those guys that are difference makers right on the field. That's what it all comes down to getting those guys developed and being those type of guys, huh?
No doubt about it. I mean, they got some good players over there, and like I say, they've developed them over a number of years. So that's what we got to do. And like I say, we're going to be young, very, very, very young. I only have one returning senior that I've seen so far, so it's going to be interesting. But I think if the kids will hang in there, we'll be okay.
Well, Ed, you can relate because when you got to Smithfield last year, it was almost an entirely new team. Literally, like, would you have one kid back at Smithfield, I think, on the hoop side?
Yeah, last year when I took over, I had 2 kids that had played any kind of varsity basketball. 2. This year it'll be even worse because I kept a lot of seniors because we don't have a lot of young kids. So it's like restarting over again, which is what I'm learning. Danny, when you mentioned about learning yourself, changing some things, being patient, that's the word I've got to use, because right now I'm looking at a lot of young kids playing, because this is what we have. And Danny, for my last question for you, that leads into what I want to ask you. Woodside, big school, you got numbers, and you're able to probably play a lot of kids. You might have, an offensive team, a defensive team, and even at special teams. Now you come to York's much smaller school. Thinking, I'm guessing, has to change where, and I know football coaches always say, hey, we're going to play our best kids. If that means they play offense, defense, and special teams, so be it. We just got to make sure we rest them when we can. How is that dynamic for you? I know you haven't played yet, but I know you thought about it. Is it going to be where we're going to have to keep better kids on the field because of small numbers? Or do you bring the big school mentality? Hey, we got to develop as many kids as we can, get them involved, get them out there, and save some of our better kids so that we can use them where they're the most strongest. How's that philosophy for you?
Yeah, ultimately, I would love to have a situation where I could play, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and have a different group playing special teams. But that's not going to happen here. We're going to have a whole lot of two-way players. And I've already talked to kids about that. We're going to have to get into shape. We're going to have to stay in shape. We're going to have to, it's going to be Ironman football. We'll have quite a few kids playing both ways. Some of those guys I mentioned earlier were only one-way players last year. They're going to be two-way players. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no way we can get around it. Now, we do want to continue to develop the younger kids as best we can. The guys that are not starters, we got to keep doing that because the injuries can happen at any time. Somebody's got to be thrown in there. So, would I like to go 11 offense, 11 defense, being different guys? I would love to, but that's not realistic here. So we're going to just play Ironman football, get after it, and try to develop guys as we can.
Well, I know I had the faith in him that he's going to get it done because his first couple of years at Woodside, 2-8, 0-10, then he ended up with 4 double-digit win seasons, and he was competing with the Hamptons and the Phoebus and beating them on occasion too, which was not being done really before that. And good times will be ahead. It might take some time, but they're at York High School. First game coming up August 28th at Pocosa, and we're glad to see him back on the sidelines as the head football coach, Danny Dodson. Thanks so much for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your summer. There's not much of it left, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you down the road.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Danny,
Coach.
remember, hope you win them all except one.
Except one.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Danny.
I'll see you.
Danny Dodson. Great to have him on the show and back on the sidelines. It's so cool. He's just one of the class guys, too. I mean, we said a lot of people we like, but he's a class guy, does it the right way, and I'm looking forward to what's in store there at York High School. Bay Rivers District, interesting. I think a lot of the 5 districts, I should say, Beach, Eastern, Southeastern, Peninsula, Bay Rivers have some intrigue this year, and we'll get to it in August. You have your favorites, obviously, that have been labeled out from the years past here with your Lafayette and Pocosa up top in the Bay Rivers, the Oscar Smiths at the top in the Southeastern. Phoebus has been the king of the peninsula, might be a change of the guard there. Hampton last year knocked them off, and they're right there again. Bethel seems to be on the come up. And in the, Eastern, Maury's won consecutive state titles, 3, Green Run on the Beach. But I think there's going to be a couple surprises in each district, which we'll outline coming up here in the next few weeks.
Hey, does Danny come to Smithfield or Smithfield go to York?
York hosts Smithfield October 16th. If you were paying attention, sir, you would have saw that on the ticker a few moments ago. But we know paying attention is not always your specialty. That's
my ADD kicks in, and I'm
your ADD. Oh, you have a lot of D's with ADD. Hey, it's been a great show. Been jam packed. We've had on Danny Dodson. We've had DeLisha Milton-Jones. We've had on Paul Stone. We've had on Derek Boone. If you missed any of it, you can find it on YouTube on Cova Sports TV. We link it up on VirginiaPreps.com. And before we bid adieu, though, I think we have one more individual who wants to say something. And I think that guy, you know him as a mister, but I know him as my good friend, George. Look, here he is, the Greek. Oh, Mr. Pontus on the show. And tonight's the night, the wrestling show over there in the Portsmouth Pavilion. Good to see you, George. How you been?
Good to see you, Matt, and good to see you, Ed. And you know what? Nothing is going to kill my joy today. Please call me George also, Ed, if you want. If you don't, that's okay.
Call me George? See, he's a nice guy after all.
He's going to let me call him George. Okay, George, okay. Tonight.
He could be buttering you up, Ed. He could be buttering you up for the sneak attack. You never know. George is my friend, though. He would never do that to me. He might do it to you, and he could be justified in doing it to you. But there it is, the Liberty Lottery, and there it is on the screen, too. Oh, the Tag Team Championship. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. Let's quickly go over some of them. Of course, since we have this one here, there's another reason why I'm so excited, because I don't have to worry about David Crockett showing up and do anything to mess with my baby right over here. David said he can't make it. Good riddance to him. I'm not even angry at him. I'm just happy I don't have to deal with him tonight, because we are defending our VCW World Tag Team belts against a very good team, nice and smooth. We defeated them last time. We're going to defeat them again tonight, and we will walk again out as VCW World Tag Team Champions, thanks to my guidance and, of course, the amazing athleticism of Greek God Papadon and very athletic and very good wrestler Brandon Scott. Although Brandon and I still don't see eye to eye, he actually took care of me last time when I had to deal with Devonta's, and so I've learned to respect Brandon a little bit. I got to figure out what else he's going to be up to, but he's been listening to me, so I'm very happy about this match and can't wait. Of course, we have other matches as well, and guest stars that will be there. Johnny B. Bad, better known under the real name of Mark Merrow. Just made a post, actually. He's at the airport on his way here. He's so excited. He recently got married, and he's bringing his beautiful wife, Melissa, who has never been to a live show before. So I'm excited, quite honestly, that she gets to see our amazing production that we put together as her first experience of her handsome hubby. And so Mark will be there to sign autographs, take pictures. He's also being interviewed by Chandler Nanolave, who is the host of Coast Live on Channel 3. And then we see the other big name on the poster. Of course, all of our VCW stars are big names, but let's be honest, the other bigger name is Satsi, former WWE superstar, who actually will be wrestling, along with, of course, doing pictures and photos and talking with the fans. But she's actually in a wrestling match against Joya. And Joya is so excited to be wrestling Satsi. And I know the fans, because they always ask us to provide them with female wrestlers. And so we do our best. And you can't go better than WWE former superstar here, Satsi, coming in to show how amazing she is. And she really is. She's been killing it out on the independent scene.
Now, George, are tickets still available on Ticketmaster, or are you sold out? What's the update there?
We have been sold out for the front row and ringside, but
Okay.
the general admission, or stadium seating as it's called, is still available. I mean, the venue holds like 6,000 people. And so I wish we could sell 6,000, but I'm also realistic. But last year, quite honestly, and I have no problem saying this, we had over 700 people. And our goal, which is amazing for independent wrestling, and our goal this year is to make it over 1,000, and we're well on our way to that. If we're not there already, I have not. When I go in later today, we're going to look at all the numbers and see how we are. But just super excited. We have so many other great matches. The Hall Stars, formerly known as Hall Stars, taking on Pinky Society. They've been beefing for a while, and it's now time to kind of pay the piper, if you will, because the Hall Stars have been meddling between the friendship of Benjamin Banks and Diamond Victor Griff, even causing a schism, if you will. But I think they're going to be united, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in this match. Another great one is, of course, our heavyweight title. I was talking about Devontis earlier, a former heavyweight champion for VCW. We see him here on the poster to the left of Mark Merrow, and he will be taking the current VCW heavyweight champion, and that's Rex Lawless. And on that poster, it was right above Devontis. These guys fought last year at this time. Oh, there it is. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And actually, Devontis was a champion last year and lost it to Rex. And Rex is is definitely ready to continue with his second-year reign. And he said this is going to be a brawl. Devontis is known as the horse of all horses. He has no problem getting in there and slugging it out. So this match is going to be a hard-hitting match. What's another one that we have? Can you pull up another graphic?
Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here.
Okay.
Have we touched on we got, let's see what graphic wise we got a couple more we can show up here for the audience here on Cova Sports TV as we talk with George Pontus, the former VCW commissioner who's now the manager of the Greek god Papadon, with us as tonight's Liberty Lottery takes place at the Portsmouth Pavilion. There's of course the females we touched on. Yep.
Yes, Joya Blake against Satsi. Very good. And of course, we talked earlier about they can get tickets at the door. They can still go to Ticketmaster and just type in VCW, and they'll be able to get the tickets there. There's another match that we're missing. There we go. Yes,
there you go. Tiberius. Yep.
It pains me to admit that I know my grandson Johnny, is my biggest fan, but he also loves the boar, and I know he's going to be. I'm just glad we don't have to wrestle boar this time, because I don't want to put my grandson between having to choose. But this is another one that has been brewing between Tiberius. Tiberius has a manager, Tim Lulis, who's actually very famous to the fans in this area. Very famous comedian over at the Funny Bone. He has performed all over the world. He has his own special on Amazon Prime, I think. And so please check him out. He's very funny, but he's not going to be too funny here. He's going to be all business, because he wants to make sure his man Tiberius beats the boar. This is going to be another hard-hitting match, because it's a no-holds-barred. So they are ready to show which one. These are both big monsters, and they're both ready to show the fans who's the biggest monster of them all. And just a quick little side note, real quick, on the boar. He would be an amazing guest to have on a future show. His great story in the sense that when he was a little boy, He was a fan of VCW. He's from this area. And he would come up to me at the matches and he would say, I'm going to be a wrestler one day. I'm going to be a wrestler one day. And I was like, oh, that would be awesome. Kid, very good. And then, he went on. He's wrestled also very famous all over the world. And now, and a couple of years ago, I think, and it was 2 maybe, he was our heavyweight champion. And so he has an amazing story to tell. So hopefully we can arrange for you to have him when we come back again for another show. And I think, I'm sorry. And then the biggest one of all, of course, is the Liberty Lottery itself. What the show is named after. And so there are 20 guests. Yes, what am I saying? There are 20 wrestlers that will be in the ring. They will come out. It's just like the Royal Rumble of WWE. They will be coming out in one at a time. Fans legitimately pull names, and it's going to be up to whatever name they pull. That's what's going to come out. Like last year, I think, or the year before, maybe the host partners against each other. So you just never know what's going to happen. So that really adds excitement to it. And all these guys are going to be battling hard because the winner gets to go whenever he wants to, not on that show, but in the future shows, to challenge for any belt that he wants to. As a matter of fact, that's what happened with Papa Don. Papa Don wound up winning last year. And after he thought about it and talked to me about wanting to become me to manage him, and actually he became my business associate. We've been great friends on and off, but it solidified our friendship. And I suggested to him strongly that he's had the Liberty title, he's had the heavyweight title, but he never had the tag team belt. And so since I was able to control Brandon Scott's contract, I pretty much forced Brandon to tag. And with my help and guidance, we became tag team champions. And we will leave tag team champions tonight, since I don't have to worry about David Crockett interfering in any way. So nice and smooth, nice knowing you. Aha, see what I did there with the name? But you ain't walking out. We are. And Ed, when I see you, I'm even going to kiss you on the cheek. I would have been tempted earlier to hit you with a kendo stick, but no, nothing is going to kill my joy. Okay, I think we hit everything. I don't want to be. I know you have to guess.
Real quick before Ed interjects here, I just want to take off the screen for just tell you a secret, George, real quick, so he didn't hear this. You told me last time we got to get Ed in the Battle Royale, the Liberty Lottery. The Battle Royale. We got to get him licensed and tested. I've talked to some people in high places and low places, more in the high places and low places, and they said we can hopefully get this done for 2027. So between you and I, he's not hearing any of this. We're going to make that happen. All right.
Excellent. Yes, let's make it happen.
Right.
Then I might join in there so I can hit him for real and not get in trouble.
Oh, I love that. Can I bring him back now? Is it okay? Bring him back?
Yes.
Okay. All right, there you go. Coach Young, go ahead. You got anything to final say here before we
once again, you all, I don't know what's going on. You took me off screen. I don't know what's happening. But let me say this. It is a great show tonight. I'm excited. I'm going to be there. Thank you, Mr. Pontus, for making that happen. I give you your credit. I've said it before. Up until the last year, you have been one of the greatest. People love you. You give the shirt off your back to whoever. But some of the stuff you've done lately, all I'm going to say is this, because you're right. I want to kill the joy of tonight. Tonight, you may get yours, and I'll be there to see it. But let's enjoy what's coming up. It's going to be a great show. I'll be there. I think Hatfield's coming. Looking forward to it. People, if you have not got tickets and you're not doing anything tonight, get out and see independent wrestling at its finest. I will give Mr. Pontus and all them credit. They work their butts off. They try to put on, and they do put on a great. People tell me, well, Coach, it's not WWE. It's not AEW. I said, these people work sometimes harder than those guys do. Yeah, they don't have $1 billion money to spend on this, but what they do is they put heart and soul into this. I'm telling you, it's hooked me. I tell people I'd rather go VCW show than WWE or AEW every night, and I have proven that. The last 3 wrestling shows I've gone to, VCW. So I'm just saying what I do, and it's going to be great. And plus, we might see George, so I'll use his first name, might get what's coming to him. We'll see. Nice and Smooth doesn't have their Davy Crockett to help him out. I wonder I wonder if they would ask Mr. Young to be in their corner.
Too much speculating. You're speculating too much. He speculates too much.
I do want to say one more thing, because I had a couple fans reach out to me. They're worried about the weather, and of course the entire area. I want to make sure fans, you understand, the entire area is covered by a huge tent. Okay. So, and the ring is there, of course, under the tent, and so are all the seats. Keyword: all the seats, both from ringside and the stadium seating. So no worries about getting wet. The show will go on. God forbid, the only reason we would stop is if there's a major tornado or just horrible weather, and then the lightning and all that, and then the city lets us know that we have to stop. Which, by the way, a little behind the curtain, that almost happened last year, because the weather was bad, but we did a lot of prayers, and it never made it to us. So, but we were talking, in all seriousness, we were talking with the city. So I want to be very transparent here to the fans. If anybody's worried, well, I haven't bought a ticket, I want to go in the wet, and I get wet. You're not going to get wet. Bring an umbrella. If it rains and you get wet, it's when you're walking from your car to the venue. So I am excited again. I look forward to seeing the fans, talking to them, taking pictures with them. But not once I get ready in that ring. I'm all business in the ring, and Ed, I'm going to ride your case when I'm in the ring. So I'm giving you a heads up on that one. I love you guys. It's been an honor to be on your show. Thank you for having me. I really enjoy this every time, even though what happens with Ed and I at the end of the day, we get caught up in our excitement because we love this business. Matt, you've been an amazing friend. I hope you're able to make it tonight, and we'll see you all tonight. Fans, Ticketmaster.com, put in VCW, or you can purchase your tickets at the door. The Portsmouth Pavilion is located literally when you come out of the downtown tunnel, right next to Wavy TV, and so you can't miss it. We'll see you all there tonight. Doors open at 6:00, and show starts at 7:30. We try to run about a 2-hour show. Hopefully, around by 10 o'clock, we'll be done. And you can go home and enjoy the family and talk about this great show. And then I'll come back, or we'll have maybe Bohr come back in a couple of months, and we'll talk about our next show.
Fantastic. Thank you, George. We look forward to it.
One more thing. Check us out, fans, on Facebook, on the Virginia Championship Wrestling, on YouTube, on Instagram, where we post a lot of our videos. And for those that can't make it, we do post the different matches later on months. Well, I shouldn't say months. In a couple of weeks, we'll start putting the matches on there. So thank you very much again.
Thank you, George. We look forward to it, and always a pleasure. Got that belt.
Going to see you tonight. Hey, George, we're going to be there early, so we're going to seek you out. We're going to be there early, so we'll see you.
Excellent. Take care. Bye-bye.
George Pontus, Opa, as he says, adios to all of us out there. That's going to wrap up this episode of 757 Sports Talk. It might be our most guests we've had in one show. We've had
and I tell you what, everybody did a job. Everybody really did a job on
really
it.
Good. All of
a lot of information, a lot of good stuff, some good laughs. Hey, man, that's what it's about. We just try to make it informative in a fun way for people to join in. So hopefully we can keep this going. People out there, we do need some sponsors. So if you know anybody or you're able to do it, come on board. We make you an instant guest.
Well, we've got some exciting things that are brewing for football season with our preview next month, and we're going to do something really cool that we don't want to announce just yet, but stay tuned to Cova Sports TV on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, the share button, the like button, and from all our guests, from pillar to post, which included the likes of Derek Boone, new head football coach of the Surry Cougars, to DeLisha Milton-Jones, the women's basketball Hall of Famer and head coach at Old Dominion, who gets her jersey retired, number 8 on Tuesday night in California. LA Sparks hosting the New York Liberty, to Paul Stone of Paul Stone Sports, chatting college football around VA and beyond. I mean, that guy recites stuff like he's like Phil Steele Jr. That's what he is. He's like Phil Steele Jr. And he even referenced Phil a couple times. To Danny Dodson, the former Wizard of Woodside, now the head football coach of the York Falcons, and George Pontus of Virginia Championship Wrestling. He's the coach, Ed Young. I'm Matthew Hatfield, and you see that water back there, Ed? I think I got to go take a dip before we say goodbye.
Hey, all you beautiful people. It's joke time. And I'm not sure if you heard about the cheese factory that exploded in France. Yes, a cheese factory exploded in France. And debris was everywhere. Everywhere.